Speaking of burgers,
with freaking with a burger. Like that doesn't even make any sense to me. I don't know. I can't do it. I can't do it personally. It doesn't even make any sense to me.
Speaking of burgers, I know like some people, Arby's got a bad name thanks to the internet, but it's not that bad. But speaking of Arby's,
I don't know about that.
Speaking of Arby's, y'all know they got a new burger.
Hang on, I have the podcast open and I just got an ad.
Yeah.
Cool. It's live. It's actually live.
I ain't gonna sit here and lie. Arby's is trash. I will never buy Arby's ever in my life.
Wait, you tried
it though.
It just went live like 2 seconds ago.
Okay.
What did you get from Arby's to turn you off?
I think I got like some type of like. It was like they like double meat or something like that.
Lord,
Arby's, we got
double meat.
You sure you got that from Arby's?
No, bro.
Every time I go to Arby's, I get the Angus burger with curly fries and a Dr. Pepper.
Their curly fries don't miss.
Curly fries is pretty good. You're missing out.
And their slaughters.
Whatever you got, the double.
Pelvic is in the chat. Look at this BS.
Hey, you remember what I said in the group chat earlier?
I do remember.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah, all right, let's see if it comes true like the Sonic cycle.
Yikes.
Already got a donation.
We got a super chat from Sebastian saying hi, Tarks.
Hey, Sebastian.
Oh man, you're already getting started, and we haven't even gotten started, but we appreciate the super chats. And she's in the chat. Yo, I'm getting tired of Pelvic. I'm getting tired. Her and her army of simps is starting to just get. It's starting to get crazy out here in these streets. All right, every time.
I need to start holding her accountable. For
I know,
her
right?
actions.
See, Riku. What's that podcast that'd be like accountability for women? What's that podcast?
I don't think they're on YouTube anymore.
I know you're not talking about Fresh and Fit.
Yeah, I don't think they're on YouTube anymore.
Yeah, they got canceled.
I
monetarily.
Them dudes always got some shit to say.
How about Coogan in the chat says Shadow have Pelvic join? Coogan, she can join whenever she wants. She just doesn't.
She just doesn't. Like, who does he think she is? Like, oh man.
It's not like Shadow has to drag her in. I mean, most of the time he has to kind of drag her in. Oh yeah, she's saying okay. Shadow, she can't join. You should try kicking her from the group chat.
She lying. She big time
She
lying. She lying. See, she lying, bro.
They removed me. Oh, she's crazy for that one. Oh, he's trying to turn the whole chat against.
Oh my god,
that's a recall.
That's kind of toxic.
Kind of spooky. And spooky month was last month.
Hold up, could I just like?
That's toxic as well.
No, I can't. I was gonna move this around so I can show you guys that she's actually in the chat. I don't think I can.
She's about to leave the chat.
Not believe all women. Oh, crazy.
Man. I can't do it.
What did that one tweet say earlier? I'd rather be wrong with women than be right with men. That's wild.
Oh my gosh, that tweet was wild.
Wow, this is
insane.
Hey, at least you said women and not females. I'll be hearing
the women
irked about that.
This is crazy. We just want Pelvic to join. It's just a complete fail.
Episode 100, and she's like, "Nah, fuck that." Wild.
Unbelievable.
I don't know if we're gonna talk about what games we're playing, but I needed something new to load up while we play this, Blake, and I loaded up Shadow Mordor. I forgot how good this is.
Game is so fucking good.
Now that I've read
Shadow of
the Lord
Mordor
of
or
the Rings,
Shadow of Mordor is really good.
I prefer Shadow of War, but they are both great games.
I haven't played the sequel yet, actually.
Shadow of War is just more of the same, and it has like it's a meaningful sequel. I think at launch they had microtransactions, but those are all removed now. So it's a good game now.
Hey Blake,
I am out with friends. Are you? You're out with friends and you're talking in our chat. Really? Are you?
Hey Blake,
you got friends?
Oh man, that is sad. Oh man,
what were you saying, Souls? You were asking me something?
Oh yeah, no. I was telling you, you definitely need to play the Arkham games because
again, I just Spider-Man 2, bro. Yeah.
I'm surprised we haven't played them.
I really wasn't a big Batman fan growing up. I really wasn't into anything DC.
The Arkham games are like kind of history. They like pioneered the games we played.
Are you a Marvel guy?
I became a Marvel guy because I think the first Marvel movie I was dragged to was the first Avengers movie. But I wasn't really into superheroes growing up until I got into the MCU. But No, I've really grown interested in DC over the years, Justice League and all that. We got another super chat from Sebastian saying, "Bao, how worthless is The Last of Us Part 2 remastered? Talk about it, Bao. Go off, King."
We gotta talk about it. Don't worry, we're gonna get there. But for now,
stay tuned.
Let's get into this. What's going on, everybody? This is the HPMP podcast, episode 100.
Can we get 100 likes?
Can we get 100 likes on this? That is the question. But
insert Ed and Eddie sound effects.
I suppose I could leave one.
Oh man, gotta stop chirping for those likes. But thank you everybody for gathering up. My panel, appreciate you guys showing up. Appreciate you guys being around for the podcast for as long as you guys have been. It's been fairly inconsistent with my schedule. But you guys are stuck with me, and I really do appreciate each and every last one of you, even though some of you drive me crazy sometimes. Like, you got some crazy SRW fans. You got some insanely emotional Trails fans. You got some, like, a person like Sonic 06. I don't know how that's possible. But hey,
well, you're on the panel.
You can't forget. We got we got a whole lot of Atlas ass eaters.
Oh man,
they all over the place eating it up. We got the dookie in their teeth.
Do we actually? I feel like most of the people in the chat don't
dingleberries
mess with Atlas to that degree.
Yeah,
when they come out, they come out.
All I'm saying is a certain Atlas fan didn't buy a Persona 5 Tactica. That's all I'm saying.
Man, oh man.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm actually interested in Tactica, but that's probably because
I'm downloaded it on my Xbox through Game Pass, but I ain't buying that shit.
Oh shit, it's on Game Pass? I wonder if my Game Pass
is on Game Pass.
It's still up. But yeah. All right, guys. Episode 100. Let's keep the energy up and let's get this party started with the intros. Bao, since your little food is gonna come, you want to go first?
Welcome to the special episode 100 of the HPMP, everyone. Welcome you. Thank you to everyone that stuck with us, whether you joined on episode 150, or even if this is your first time here. We appreciate you, and let's talk about these gaming topics.
All right, Riku?
Riku, son one, the only one, back at it again here on episode 100. Made it to the podcast. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Thank you for sticking with us through this time. We've been consistently inconsistent, but guess what? We're still going. We're here. We made it. And let's keep on going to episode 200, baby.
I don't know about all that, but Blake, go ahead.
It is that time. What's going on, guys? It's me, Westtown HD. Happy to be here on episode 100. I definitely didn't think I would be here when I started watching this show back in like 2017. But it's been great. Shadow's been a great host all this time. I'm honored to have been able to join you all on this journey. Honestly, if I had not joined this podcast, I don't know if I would be as into JRPGs as I am nowadays. So it's been a good ride, and we got some good topics to talk about today, y'all.
All right. And we got two guests on here. The first one is an OG, triple OG of the podcast. He was on episode 1, I believe. Or maybe the early episodes. I can't remember. But Souls, go ahead, man.
Yes. I am an OG because I was here during the trenches, pioneering, all the good times. But no, I'm glad to be back. I never missed an episode, been tuning in, even though I haven't been present 100% of the time. Glad to be here. I got to say, Shadow Elite, you were probably the first ever YouTuber I've actually interacted with when I was on YouTube. Like, past the whole just leaving a comment. So, it's a special monumentous occasion to just be a part of this podcast.
Nice, man. Thanks for that. Next up we got a regular content creator. Great stuff that he always produces. I think his stuff is great. Go ahead, Tarks.
Dude, I wish I was a regular creator. I don't even know when I uploaded last, but I promise I promise there's more shit coming. I do have like other stuff made. I'm just gonna stockpile shit and release it later. Appease that YouTube algorithm. But yeah, congratulations to 100 episodes. I've been on here a couple times, but I feel like it's been 100 episodes since the last time I've been here. Sad I missed the Cold Steel 4 spoiler cast. Shit just didn't work out then. There's still another one coming though, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I should probably get back to playing Reverie.
Same with me. I gotta finish that.
A lot of you probably already know my life has gotten pretty chaotic. We just had a baby.
Congrats,
Daddy
Congratulations, man.
I think I started Reverie right before she was born. She's just over 3 months old, and I just finished it.
Oh, nice.
So gaming time is absolutely plummeted. But as soon as people are ready for that Reverie spoiler cast, I'm ready to be back.
Nice.
I'm gonna ask you about Reverie real quick. Maybe if you can avoid spoilers. That's maybe, I don't know, but there's a part in the game that it's a huge twist, or there's a big reveal of what the nature of the primary antagonist is. What did you think of that reveal?
Are you talking about the behind the scenes person? So Trails does this thing quite often where the laws of badassery supersede the laws of logic, and I can kind of ride that train. It's fun, but they really pulled a lot of stuff just out of their ass to make it work. It felt like they made a whole lot of rules just on the spot to make this plot line work, but it kind of did.
Okay.
It was cool regardless. I enjoyed the game quite a lot, but it did have a whole lot of that, we're just gonna make this shit up as we go sort of feeling.
Okay, all right. Ricky, how do you feel about that response?
I agree with it. I think in regards to Reverie, and I said this before, it feels like there's a tone shift that they're trying to do for Reverie in particular, because it felt like all the way up to this point, the franchise has been transitioning from a high fantasy feeling to something else that I'm not going to say. But if you've been playing the games, especially at the end of Cold Steel 1, you can tell where this it feels like it's transitioning into, and Reverie definitely heavily dives into that area, probably more than any of the prior games. So it feeling that way is understandable.
Reverie also uniquely was more about progressing the plot and wrapping shit up instead of building the characters. There is a couple characters that get a lot of focus and they get development, and a couple I ended up caring for a lot more than I thought I ever would. But it's definitely more of a plot centric game than the former games, which were all character and world driven.
True. All right, let's go around the room and see what everybody's playing out here in these gaming streets.
Okay.
Riku, you want to start? Since you said something, you want to start? What games you playing, Riku?
Sure. Well, let's see. Turn my PlayStation on. Okay. Well, I mean, I haven't been playing really anything currently right now. I recently finished Spider-Man 2. That was a great game. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't been playing anything. If I do turn my PlayStation on and I do play something, it will be messing around in my second playthrough of Reverie, like we were talking about. Yeah, just Reverie. I've been messing around with some of the post game stuff on second playthrough. It's very weird how Reverie handles its second playthrough, because it has to take into consideration the Reverie corridor. So it's you don't just go to new game and hit it. It's it works way different than previous Trails games. I think I actually had to look up on the forums on how to start New Game Plus correctly. It's not that user friendly. Okay. But once you got in there, huh?
You don't just load your clear save, right?
You would assume that's all you have to do.
I know post game there's content up until Reverie Corridor 4, and then everything else was a DLC added way after the fact, right before Kuro came out.
Yeah, but it's if you start New Game Plus, you know how previous Trails games would be oh yeah, you started a New Game Plus. Do you want to what do you want to move over? And then they have a whole bunch of checklists and you can move that over. When I loaded it up this time, that didn't pop up. So it was weird. Alexa, stop.
I checked I don't know. I think it seemed to work for me when I loaded my clear data, but I loaded my clear data after Reverie Corridor, floor 8. After I finished the post game content.
Yeah, it's odd, but I'm still having a blast.
Hold on, we got a big boy.
Well, yeah, I was waiting.
Big boy,
I was waiting for Riku to finish up.
Lord,
we got a $100 super chat from Cranberry. 100 for episode 100. It's not easy to keep a podcast going as long as y'all have. Proud of you guys for sticking it out. Thank you, Cranberry. Tarks, I know you're new around here. Shadow's going to give us 10% each of that. Maybe in 10 years or 100 years, actually, for episode 100. But
yo, shout out to Cranberry with the $100 super chat. Appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much for that. We love you around here, these parts. Thank you.
He says they deserve it. They, as in they them. As in the only person that's getting this is Shadow. It's going straight into his pocket.
It went right to his PayPal directly. There was no direct transit or anything.
I don't know what you guys mean. I don't know what you guys talking about. Eventually, it all goes back into the podcast, guys. Come on now. Let's keep an open mind here, all right? But thank you, Cranberry, yet again, for that $100 super chat. Appreciate that. All right, so, damn, that red looks so nice. Who wants to go up next? Who's playing what?
I'll go.
Go ahead, Toast.
All right, so I just recently finished FF16, and I'm almost done with Spider-Man. I could have been done it, but I've been streaming it till completion, so I think I'm pretty much almost finished with it. But yeah, that's definitely my game of the year right now. Like Spider-Man 2, oh my god, I don't know. Like at first, I'm like, yo, how can they make it better? But they did their thing in terms of swinging, combat, visuals, everything about it. That game has just exceeded every expectation. My only thing is now is like, how can they go up from here? And are we going to get one of those side games like we did for Miles Morales?
Andrew, what side game will we? Well, I don't know. I haven't beaten the game yet, so I can't really say what happened.
I've heard some stuff. I know Blake's told me some things, but I would like it to be a like Spider-Gwen game, just set in a different universe or whatever.
Okay. Everybody likes their Spider-Gwen.
And I agree.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah. And like somebody said, thumbs down on FF16.
Shout out to that thumbs down. Fuck FF16.
I wouldn't say that. Like, I think the story, characters, voice acting, music, everything about it was amazing. Gameplay, they did not. Let me just say this: they should shoot themselves for even comparing the gameplay to Devil May Cry.
Yes,
like
I believe that.
Why in the hell would they even? I know they saying they got people to make it that worked on it, but come on,
the gameplay is a lot more Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah,
Devil May Cry. Like literally, some of the moves and special abilities were just like lifted from Dragon's Dogma.
Exactly, and then not only that, it's just like, okay, it looks visually good, but once you actually play it, it's so watered down, like. And then the thing I didn't like about 16 is that after a while, because the combat was like, you lose engagement after a while, unless you're doing like a boss battle, which is just visual, like eye candy.
The spectacle is insane.
Yeah. Like it's so over the top. It definitely beats out freaking Asura's Wrath in terms of like over the topness. But the thing about it with the gameplay was that it ended up, I think, damaging the game, because I'm like, okay, now it's starting to drag. We could have ended this game, I want to say 2 bosses ago. Like,
for me, it was the side quest that dragged.
Oh, I didn't even do any, because I'm like, honestly, I did like 2, and I'm like, yep, I don't need to do anymore. I'm just going to play the game.
Some of them have like really good stories, but they take forever in telling them.
And there's no run button. Like, oh my god,
that's my biggest pet peeve with the game.
There's like knee-high ledges everywhere you can't jump over.
Oh like, my god, that killed me. Like, what's the point of the jump button?
the traversal mechanics are horrible.
They're very bad. Like I said, like the gameplay itself made the game damage the game more, because it's like at this point I want it to be over. Like I'm ready to play something else.
so we went from like talking about Spider-Man 2, where like the game lives and dies on its incredible traversal mechanics, to Final Fantasy 16, which can't even get running right.
Yeah, like I said, I love the story, love the characters, love the music, love the over-the-top boss battles and the spectacle of it all. But honestly, I want to say that this could be one of them let's play games you watch on YouTube.
Yep, exactly. No shame in that. Final Fantasy 16, it definitely does not deserve to win Game of the Year at all.
Yeah, like it was an amazing game for the first time I played it, but at the same time, I'm not mad that it didn't make it to the Game of the Year nomination. Like,
also, Q is here.
I mean, did we have to bring attention to that? I mean,
but yeah, Spider-Man 2. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend Spider-Man freaking 2.
Oh, he's on the shit mic, bro. Shadow kick him out.
Okay, so sorry to like mess with the flow of everything, but
I just actually finished. You're good.
I'm literally just to give you guys a heads up. I'm actually in the same time zone as you guys right now, so I'm on my laptop with a headphones, so that's why my audio sounds like shit.
Okay.
But that's the only reason. But I had to be here, so you know.
That's the reason.
Appreciate you dropping in, good sir.
I almost didn't realize we had podcasts.
Yeah,
that's good.
How y'all be forgetting that the podcast? I got the date
time.
of the podcast.
It's the time, Shadow. It's the time. I'm in a different time zone. I didn't know what time was what time, right? Forgive me, right?
Low key, I almost did the same thing. I was almost waiting until 5:30, but I was like, I think one of y'all put it in the chat PST. I was like, oh shit, or EST.
Oh,
so Q doesn't get a cut of that donation, right? He wasn't here for it.
Exactly.
No, that's not how it works.
100%. All right, Q. Thanks for dropping in. Who's next to say what they're playing? Tarks?
I literally just finished Reverie. Right now I'm replaying the best Final Fantasy game. You guys know what that is. If you think it's not 9, you're wrong.
Lord? Oh my God, this man.
And I'm also playing Super Mario Wonders, kind of a game between games.
Wonder how much you're liking it.
I wonder how he could say that.
I think it's pretty good. I'm really enjoying it, but like, you know, I cut my teeth on like Mario 3 and Mario World growing up.
Damn straight.
And like, in terms of going back to traversal, this game controls like a lot more like the older ones than it does like Super Mario Wii or whatever the hell that game was called.
Okay.
Wait, hold up. Are you what team are you on? Mario World or Mario 3?
3.
Oh, god damn it.
No, like both of them are like almost 10 out of 10 games for me. Like they're some of my favorite games ever made, but like 3 always just edges it out.
Interesting.
Okay. All right. Blake, what you out here playing?
So I am currently yesterday, as everyone knows, was a big day for game releases. Mario RPG came out.
Mario RPG
Persona
came
5.
out?
Mario RPG came out. That's why I was asking. I was like, why is it Mario RPG on the thumbnail? You put Tactica. No one's playing Tactica. No one's gonna play Tactica, but you didn't put Mario RPG on there anyway.
I could have sworn
you said no one's gonna play Tactica. I'm gonna play Tactica.
Anyway, like I said, no one's playing Tactica, and yeah, but also this game, this little indie game by this indie studio called CyberConnect. They released a game called Naruto Ninja Storm Connections. Your boy's been playing the life out of it. This is actually like so far. This might be the best Storm game they've ever released. Like the gameplay is so refined in this. Like the combos you can actually combo in a Storm game. Everything flows so nicely, and just graphically it all looks great. My only issue is they redubbed a lot of the game, and the redub sounds worse. And the voice actor or actress for Naruto was saying she didn't do some of these lines, so people are wondering if Bandai is using like some sort of AI for voice acting in Connections, which is a whole can of worms. Which sucks if true. But gameplay-wise, it's great. You get over 130 characters out the gate. Budokai Tenkaichi 4 is definitely not going to have that, but yeah, it's that's basically what I'm playing. I'm playing Mario RPG as well. I downloaded Tactica on my PC and my Xbox through Game Pass. If I get a chance to play them, I will. But it's not really a high priority. And yeah, it's basically what I'm playing currently.
And Reverie on the side.
Reverie's like a play a couple of times a week kind of game for me right now. I'm trying to get through it.
Lord,
but you love Nadia.
Bob, what you out here playing?
So I just beat. Sorry. Spicier than I thought. I just beat Star Ocean 2 literally was it yesterday? Either yesterday or the day before. Great remake. Loved it. Satisfied with the ending I got. So I'm technically still dabbling in Baldur's Gate 3 and the Cyberpunk expansion, taking my time with those, still loving them. I'm thinking of what's the next game I want to play now, since I have a bit of time before my next big release is out, which is going to be that crazy January, February month with all those games. So I'm debating playing maybe Super Robot Wars Endless Frontier and the sequel again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I'm also playing literally right now Shadow of Mordor, just because it's an RPG break and it's really fun. Yeah. Oh, also today I was also playing, for the heck of it, a Mario game for the first time for me in like a decade, and also a Sonic game, which was a little better than I expected it to be. So yeah, I'm dabbling with a lot. Blake, calm down. First of all.
No, hold on. Which one? We need names.
Lost World on the 3DS.
Oh my god! Anyway,
that was a good
super chat from Sebastian saying, "Hi Q, real quick, how's Trails going?" I think we're gonna get to Trails. Q's Trails.
Hold on,
in a minute.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that in a minute, because Q's
but
gonna explain what he's playing. So wait a minute. Time out. Hold the phone.
He said Lost World.
Oh. Yeah, exactly. Lost World.
Lost World.
First of all,
so I have a bunch of games for my 3DS, and I was just going through a few of them.
Bro, play Generations 3DS. That's a good game.
Hold on.
That boy in a Lost World of his own playing that. What the fuck?
I know,
it wasn't bad, actually.
The Lost World version is actually on the 3DS is actually not bad.
So
it's like the advance.
Wait a minute, Blake. You got a problem with Lost World, but you don't got a problem with Sonic 06?
I play 06 every day of the week over Lost World.
You tripping.
He played it as a kid. Keep that in mind.
Wow. That's disgusting. What's wrong with you?
Lost World is not fun to play.
Was that 06 all is still fun kind of games?
Is it?
I think so. Especially Project 06. Oh my gosh.
All right, cool.
Hey, real quick though. Speaking of side games, because we were talking about what we're playing on the side, I am playing Ghost of Tsushima on the side as well.
You're playing Tsushima too? Jeez.
Yeah, that's like, I'm really taking that slow. I'm exploring every single thing because it's not a main priority, so I'm taking it really slow. But I'm actually really having fun with that game.
Tsushima was solid.
The standoffs. Oh my god! And let me just say this: any open world game that has a horse, I love the fact that I can sprint, call my horse, and jump on the horse without stopping sprinting. I love that. That's just a side little detail I just love.
Dinosaurs have been doing that since Dynasty Warrior 6 back in 2000.
Alright, so hold on. We got a super chat. Sebastian Perry said that, "Hi Q, real quick, how is Trails going?" Now Q, I'm gonna ask you what you're playing. And there's only one game you're allowed to say. So,
he was over here ready to.
That's the only game we want to hear about. All right.
I'm gonna play that.
So wait a minute. For those that don't know, maybe Tark doesn't know, maybe Souls doesn't know.
No, I seen some of the stream, and I seen the screenshot of him sleeping.
Oh, okay.
I did see that.
Viral. I hate you.
So yeah,
all people remember you about now.
This is a bet that's
the
going
nigga
on.
that slept on Trails.
Yeah, y'all better pay this man, because this ain't no easy task.
So yeah, Q is in the middle of a bet right now that he has to play the entirety of the Trail series up to any major new release.
Now, it was up to Reverie.
No, it wasn't.
It definitely was not.
I will not lie to you. Trust me.
We can look at the tapes. But this bet is for $1,000 or 1,000 quid or whatever the equivalent is.
1,000 quid. 1,000 quid is pounds.
It was 1,000 quid. Yes,
it's $1,000. It's the only currency that we care about. So yeah, it's $1,000.
Hold on. There's definitely a difference, because quid is worth more, so it's more than $1,000 is on the line.
All right, so I'll say more than $1,000 is on the line. How about that?
Yeah.
So yes, Q. Where are you in this bet that took place about a month or 3 ago? Where are you at right now?
It's been about 3 months, I think. I still playing the first Sky game.
Shit.
Let me explain. Right, the people want to know. Right, as you guys know, I am in a different country, and I'm on my headset and all this sort of shit. The reason why I have not been able to dedicate my time to Sky properly is because of the reason I'm here. The reason that I'm here right now. I can't go into details right now specifically, but I'll explain in like 2 weeks or something. I'll be able to explain why I'm here. But because of all that shit that's going on, why I happen to have to be in the same time zone as the rest of you guys in the North American region, that is the reason I haven't been able to dedicate time to Sky. But I recently got a Steam Deck, and I've been playing Sky on my Steam Deck, and that has been brilliant. The only problem I have with playing Sky on Steam Deck though is that I can't figure out how to get the voices to work on there. But outside of that, I'm enjoying Sky. Yeah, you can patch it in on the
voice
PC.
mod, yeah.
You can mod it. It
Oh,
works
I didn't
perfectly on
know
the PC. But on the Steam Deck, it says it's supposed to work, but everything I've tried doesn't work. So I just gave up. I'm just playing it vanilla way, which kind of sucks.
Well,
but
Woohoo.
well, real OGs don't need no voice actor. All right? We played that game when it came out, sir. Yeah, we out here with no voice actor going there raw. All right, we can use our
damn.
Here's what we heard.
Go.
Here's what we heard when text went across the screen.
Yeah,
That puts me to sleep, man. That's like,
Music to my ears, baby boys and girls. Music to my ears.
I will say this much. I am loving Sky. The first Sky game is amazing. I like running into characters and chatting, and the battle is great and all that kind of stuff. I am loving Sky, and I can't wait to finish the series and all that kind of stuff. But now that I have a Steam Deck, I can play as I see fit. The only problem I think you guys know this already is that the OLED came out literally right after I got my.
let's go.
I will give you a heads up.
The week.
On
Sorry?
Steam Deck, Sky first chapter and second chapter both have issues with cutscenes. Like they'll run at like 1/3 the rate they're supposed to, but the audio will play at the right pace.
I'm not having that problem so far. So far, I haven't had that problem.
But here's
No
the
one
thing,
has asked you the most important question. What's your playtime, buddy?
I've got like 90-something hours in this game.
Lord,
that's a lot of idle time.
that boy sound like me.
No,
That's a lot of idle time.
No, it's not idle time. Here's the problem I've run into this game, and this is kind of Riku's fault, right? The thing with Sky is that it doesn't tell you if you're gonna miss a mission or anything like that. But at the end of each level, like at the end of each sort of like segment of the game, where it's like, okay, you finished this chapter, it tells you failed all these things, and my brain does not process that well. So I've restarted some chapters trying to like get everything. Until, I was talking to Riku about it some night. He's like, dude, just forget it and just go through the game, like just forget that shit. Honestly, it was bugging me, right? It still bugs me, but I'm like, you know what?
He doesn't understand the concept of hidden missions.
Is the game even 90 hours long though?
No, it's 40 hours.
It's like 40 hours long. But the thing is that as soon as you imagine, when you play a JRPG, you get to the end, and then you get whatever ending you get, and you accept that, like, oh, whatever choices I made, such is life, right? Sky doesn't do that to you. You finish a chapter and then it tells you, oh, by the way, you fucked up. This chapter, by the way, all these things you missed. It tells you all the shit you missed. And then you go back in and you try to figure out what the fuck did I miss? So I've been trying to like go back and try to like get things because I'm like, well, I want to get a really good ending,
I applaud you, Q. Keep doing that for every game.
I say you better than me. Just
you're acting like the story or ending changes depending on how many like.
No, it does. Don't worry about it. It does.
That literally only happened
with
one
money, don't you?
Riku, you were the one that told me that. I didn't know that at first. So because remember, keep in mind, this is a series I plan to play outside of the bet. So I want to enjoy the series as well. Like the bet was just was an add-on basically. But I've changed my ways. I'm now just blitzing through the story, doing not really giving a shit.
No, take your time.
Okay, so Riku told you that the side content or whatever like changes the end, but that's only true for like a handful of games.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's very specific.
He misunderstood what I said because I definitely did not say that.
Okay, Q. All I know is Q. You're in
talking to them NPCs.
You're 90 hours in, and it's been 3 months since the bet was made. I don't know what's going on, but you still got time.
In the words of Acebreaker, bro, who just gave us a super chat. That boy Acebreaker with a $5 super chat saying, "Still on Sky first chapter, the shortest game in the series." Wrap you, man. God. Oh man,
don't worry, I'm getting there, Ace. I'm getting there. I'm gonna be finishing in no time flat.
Yeah, 90 hours in 90 days is it's a considerable pace for a busy person, an hour a day.
Especially, I do have a busy schedule. That is
you
true.
won't finish the series.
Yet we log in and you're playing fucking Fez and shit, and you over here want to start Persona Tactica.
Oh no! I'm just.
So wait, you're gonna start Persona 5 Tactica and not
never
continue?
said I'm starting that game. I never said I'm starting the game. I said I'm testing it. I'm just gonna jump in.
Oh my god!
So you're starting.
You test it for like 30 hours.
Look, here's the thing. Let's respond to them super chats. So someone else says, Sebastian says, "Q, did you fall asleep again while playing?" Yes, I did fall asleep again.
Oh my god!
He's digging himself a deeper hole and stealing my super chats.
I'm just being honest.
Hey,
Let me
be honest. I was about to say.
Sebastian,
You got the floor. Let him get the
his
floor.
money. I'm gonna tell the truth. I fell asleep one night. I was playing on my laptop, and I fell asleep on the laptop, and then I woke up and I finished up the chapter I was in. Right. So yes, Sebastian, happened once more, but that was it. I was playing solo. I was really tired because I try to squeeze in a little game time at the end of the day. You guys know I have a busy life, so you know. Talk should understand where I'm coming from. Anyway, and the next super chat. Come on, Q. I believe this is from Ricardo Belmont. I believe in you. That should be there's a hard thing hiding this. I can't read the rest of this. Believe in you. Row.
You should be believing in yourself. Row, fight the power. I hate that he not only tried to take my job of reading super chats, but he didn't read the Gurren Lagann reference correctly. Get this motherfucker out of here, bro.
Anyway, the point is, H Dragon says set up a GoFundMe for Q. But I'll take the GoFundMe, but not to help pay Bao. That'll just be extra money, So I'll take that money.
Q, we get it. You're gonna get in this, and you're gonna get in it raw, and you're gonna go and you're gonna beat this. Hey. All right.
Of course, I got a Steam Deck now, so it's okay. Right? I got this.
Bao, just be Bao, be patient, or he probably got nothing to worry about. All right, let's move on to the next person because Q ain't playing nothing else and shouldn't be playing anything else.
Wow, I'm not allowed to play anything else, is it?
Basically,
you're really not.
Not
at this point. What are you playing, Shadow?
Okay, so first off, appreciate the super chats, guys. Thank you very much. So I'm playing right now. I got done with Disgaea 7 a couple of weeks back. I'm still in the process of making a video for it. The game was good. There were some problems with it that I had, and I'll just tell you one of the problems I had was the jumbo vacation thing, in which it's a mechanic where the characters get huge kaiju size and they can just attack anywhere on the map and do buku amount of damage. Pretty fun mechanic. I feel it especially fits Disgaea, but unfortunately it wasn't utilized all that much. Enemies barely used it, and I felt like it should have been a mechanic within the story, but it's not. It's literally just introduced once, and that's it. And then another feature also introduced once, and you can probably just skip by it. I even forgot that it was there, was weapon reincarnation for Disgaea. And you know how you can reincarnate characters to make them stronger, but now you can reincarnate your items to make them even stronger. And I pretty much went through the entire freaking game without using it until I unlocked it, because I felt like unlocking it for the Dark Assembly. So I was kind of iffy on that. There are also some other places, like basically the whole thing about Disgaea is that it's budget now. It's ultra budget, and it's like, in a sense, from a building the game standpoint into the 3D, it's like they started from the beginning with Disgaea 6. There are so many things missing, some of the things that they can't add because they have to build new assets from like Disgaea 5 and down. But this is a good, I guess, starting point, or coming from Disgaea 6, it's good, but it's not really saying much because Disgaea 6 was that game was
bottom tier.
Yeah,
so me personally, I just use gemification for item world grinding, since you can easily kill enemies a lot higher than you. True. That's what I use it for.
True, you could definitely do that, but like as a mechanic, it was just introduced and that was it. I even expected. I don't think this is much of a spoiler. I think the final boss should have used jumpification. Didn't use it at all. So I'm like, I forgot it was even there at some points, because I don't know. I kind of felt like it was kind of a cheap mechanic to get off a good amount of damage, but either way. I'm also playing Star Ocean, the second story remake, and I gotta say, the game is awesome. Holy shit, and it's kind of fucking sad, because this is Star Ocean, the second game that came out like how many fucking years ago, and it's still the best. Give or take. It's still the best in the series. Like, how is that possible? I don't know. Doesn't make any sense. But yeah, it's a really good game. I thought I would have a problem with the clash of the I guess sprites, pixel art on the character models with the 3D environments, but it's actually not that bad. So yeah.
I got a question about that. So I think it was you, Bao, tweeted saying that you can unlock, what's his name, the guy from 4.
Mm-hmm.
Is he actually playable?
No,
they're assist attacks to other protagonists from the other games.
Okay.
They're basically assist attacks that you're gonna unlock. Which was, when I unlocked that, I was surprised because I never saw that. I guess I wasn't paying attention too much to the promotion, but that's pretty freaking awesome. This one character that you got unlocked from doing fishing, I think it's the Star Ocean 6 protagonist.
He was the only dude I didn't get.
Yeah, and now it's like every time I go to a new location, I'm just fishing. So I can get like 22 types of fish so I can unlock them. But yeah, Star Ocean, I feel, got greatly robbed at the Game Awards, which is probably a pretty good segue. We're going to go to the...
one piece of advice, Shadow. So you're already doing it, so it probably won't matter. But there is a cutoff point for getting him, so don't waste too much time.
Oh, really? God damn it.
Yeah, it's pretty far in the game, but... Yeah.
I actually had to start over in the game because I was gonna miss a character. I got what's his name, the guy with the dragons on his back, and I would have kept
Crisis or
I would have kept him, but the problem was like they named his dragons Creepy and Weepy, and I'm just like,
that's why you didn't want him, really.
That ain't working for me. I was like, you know what?
Reload the game. That's a good reason to own a character.
Reload the game. I'm gonna take Opera and her boy toy, and we're gonna go from there. And that's one of the also problems that I have with Star Ocean. Kind of, it's like I gotta consult a god every 10 seconds so I don't miss something.
Yeah, that's what happened to me in 3. I remember growing up playing that. I missed so many characters going throughout the game, like that one chick from the circus, and then that little kid with the helmet. I missed, and apparently a super strong sword in the very beginning of the game, like.
That's one of the things too. The remake did really well. Most optional things will appear on your map when you click it, so it's hard to miss things. But that still is an issue since there's like 3 examples of party members where you have to choose this or that person, and once you get someone, you're locked out the other one.
Yeah, that's true.
So you still do need a guide for that. But
got a question though. Would you say that that's would you objectively say that that's an issue, or is that debatably? Because to me, it more so sounds like it was a game that was made during the PS1 era time, where this is still around the time where games like a good example, Chrono Trigger, where these games are built around you like playing it, once again. Second playthrough type of thing, so like replay value type of thing. So
keep in mind this game has 99 endings.
Yeah, so like replay value is extremely high, was what I'm hearing. So like,
do you think the idea is that you replay it a lot of times, or is that everyone has like a unique story that they can share about their experience with the game? Because that's what I see it as.
It's character endings.
It's both.
It gets old school like feelings, like you needing a guide and all that stuff. Less reminds me of how it used to be.
Yeah, no, it definitely. That game was definitely made around a time where strategy guides were like
necessary
at an all-time high. Like you buy this game, you're shooting yourself in the foot if you don't leave with that strategy guide as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't like having game facts up every 10 seconds to see what I'm missing.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm just gonna say fuck it. I'm just gonna go, and I don't care what I miss at this point.
I understand for like modern games of today, it can definitely be seen as like an issue. Not many games are built around the notion of like playing it again once you beat it, you're done. Unless you're like someone trying to get to platinum. Like once those credits roll, on to the next. So it's like when a game is built in a way where it's like, okay, so second playthrough, you're like, second playthrough? What do you mean? I don't do second playthroughs. It's like, yeah, well, you're gonna have to do it for this one. It's like, no, I ain't. Like, well, you're gonna miss stuff. It's like, well, not if I have this guide up, and now you're like messing with your enjoyment. And
I mean, you're saying not if I have YouTube to just go on and just check out the endings.
Yes, sir.
The thing is, I think that's the thing for me as well, is that like nowadays, if I get one ending and I want to know what the others are, I look it up on YouTube now. Whereas back in the day, you either just accepted whatever. For me, I accepted my ending as that was the canon ending for me, and ignored all the other endings as just whatever happened there, because I just didn't feel like I had enough time to go back and replay games as much. But nowadays, yeah, I do the same thing. I'll go on YouTube, I'll watch someone's ending, and then I'll be like, okay, cool. That ending seems cool, but it's not mine, but such is life.
All right.
I know. It makes me think of Nier, since a lot of people would argue a lot of the endings are required viewing to like get the most out of that. But
I mean, a lot of those just
depends,
die at this point, or something like that, or like explode at this point. It's like 26 endings, right, for Nier?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's one for every letter, but like only 5 of them are required, and you can kind of just get them through naturally playing through the story. Like, yeah, you got to roll the credits a few times, but like the game continues. It seems like post game, but it's more like, hey, it's actually just the rest of the game.
All right. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about the Game Awards.
Did that go on already?
No, it's coming up. We're talking
The
about
nominees
the
came out.
nominees, sir.
They announced the nominees.
So you guys know there's a lot of categories for the Game Awards. We ain't going through every single one. We're gonna go through Game of the Year and RPG of the Year. That's all we're going. So let's start off with Game of the Year, since that's the biggest one. For Game of the Year at the Game Awards, we have Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3. I'm sorry, Goat's Gate 3. Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda I can't say it. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
I said Trains of the Kingdom. That would be my game.
Trails of the Kingdom, crazy.
Yeah,
can we just assume right out the gate that the same game is going to win both categories?
Ooh, we thinking Baldur's Gate?
Yeah, it's going to win both. Baldur's Gate was a massive and almost kind of unexpected sensation. Like,
Bro, wasn't
I
it
see
highest playing game on Steam or something?
Yeah, I've seen all these people who would never even touch a friggin' RPG playing Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah. And people who definitely didn't grow up with the games getting into it. It's kind of crazy.
So I will say this, and I said this on prior episodes. Baldur's Gate 3 is the only game out there that deserves to be $70. That game is packed with content. It is amazing. I remember playing it for one weekend just for the hell of it. I just spent 10 hours in a session. And I was like, I can't dedicate enough time to this, because just like with Star Ocean, I was afraid to miss content. And like afraid to miss characters, afraid to miss any events or anything like that. I just said, you know what? I can't. I almost view it like World of Warcraft back in the day. I can't get into this. I'm gonna get sucked into it. I gotta put it away. But yeah,
with Baldur's Gate, there's no way you can see everything in one playthrough. Like, you would need to do multiple.
Yeah, that's true. But I kind of have that thing where I just like, I don't want to miss like any characters that I actually would potentially like. So
it's funny, we already talked about the whole multiple playthrough thing. That's another good example. Baldur's Gate 3 definitely meant to be played multiple times.
But you're not going to use the YouTuber for this one?
Depends on what specifically you're asking about.
I got too much respect.
This is different anyway. It's not like having multiple endings. Like literally every quest and dialogue tree has these massive permutations based on who's in your party. I think they said there's 300 and some odd hours of recorded dialogue for the game.
Jesus.
Yeah, nobody's going to see all of this.
Oh man. We got a
$2 super chat from H Draken saying optimization. Who that? Skylines 2 at Game Awards and Armored Core 4.
Oh my god. Yeah, Skylines 2, I think they even told their fans that this game is not going to be optimized at all. So give us the money.
Yeah, I don't know what they were cooking with Skylines 2, bro. Like, why did you release it? Oh, I know, money.
They released it because people are willing to pay for it. That's
It's on Game Pass. I didn't pay for it.
I didn't hear about the Skylines drama.
Means?
I know this was a thing.
Armored Core 4, yeah. No, they mentioned like, I think it was like a day after release that they're working on patches to fix. I don't know. It's the usual fanfare with modern game releases. Oh, oops, the game doesn't run right on PCs that are super beefy. Huh? Maybe it's your PC. It's not.
Also, I think you meant Age of Empires.
Yeah, he was talking Age of Wonders 4. Oops. He was talking Age of Wonders 4, which, like, if we go around the chat, how many people have played any Age of Wonders games here?
Not at all.
I always wanted to try them.
So I think I played, like, the second one, and that was, like, the last one I played. Really solid games, but, like, I feel like nobody pays attention to that series.
Age of Empires 2 was my childhood.
Maybe
this
honestly,
Age of Wonders. This is like a turn-based.
Oh, it's different. Never mind.
Like kind of like more like a classic CRPG, I guess.
Maybe
it's a little harder to
turn-based
button down.
Hold on, maybe it's for the best talks that people don't get into these games.
Is it one of those strategy simulation games?
Maybe just leave the audience to a niche audience, because once the game goes mainstream, you're gonna introduce some problems. You're gonna introduce some problems to the series. Maybe you just want it at that niche. Hopefully, it sells enough, to get more games. But that's something.
It's kind of wild. Like, I think when I played Age of Wonders 2, it has to have been like 2005 or something, and we've only got like 2 more games since then.
Jesus.
So yeah, the series does not move very quick. I will say
the same for Baldur's Gate too. What was the last time you had Baldur's Gate?
Baldur's Gate's different. That I think the company that made it, I don't know if they stopped making games, but it wasn't Larian. Larian got the rights a few 6 years ago to start making them. So Baldur's Gate's definitely different.
We got
Age of Wonders.
That's like
Age of Wonders has expansions though, so even if they don't put out one every year or something like that. The expansions make up for it, don't they?
I don't know how many expansions Age of Wonders really gets. I mean, back when I played Age of Wonders 2, I didn't have the internet, so I didn't get no expansions.
We got a super chat.
We got a super chat from Shattered Glass 23, $5 super chat saying, "How is the single player campaign for Baldur's Gate 3? Interested in buying it." I'd say if you want to play it by yourself, it's a great game for that. There's plenty of party members in it that you can recruit for your side. But if you also have a group of friends to play with, it's just as fun.
Yeah.
Yep. Great single or with friends.
And let's not forget that you can hook up with a bear. Let's not forget that.
Right. These games are always improved by playing them with friends, though. Like the Divinity games, my wife and I played together. I don't think we've argued as much in a game ever, but it was good arguing. There was a point, I think we made it to a town, and I started talking to somebody who turned out to be a prostitute. So I went up to the room with her, and lo and behold, it was an ambush. I lost all my clothes.
No.
I lost all
remembers.
my clothes, all my weapons, and I looked at my wife. I'm like, I need you to teleport to me.
Don't ask any questions.
I remember that happened to Val.
Explaining to do.
Yep, that happened in our playthrough.
Val got fucking stripped naked.
Oh man.
So it is a lot of fun with friends.
Co-op.
All right. So as far as our Game of the Year nominees go, I'll say this: I think everybody deserves to be here, except for Alan Wake 2. I honestly didn't hear that much about the game. I'd never played the first one, but I didn't expect for the second one to be that great for it to be here.
Actually, I think it's tied with Baldur's Gate for most nominations this year.
Yeah, I've been hearing
That's
a lot
insane.
about Alan Wake 2, but that's also in my circle. I was a big fan of the first. Not playing the second because I'm putting my foot down on the whole no physical thing on this one.
Okay.
And
It doesn't have a physical release?
No, and that fucking sucks for me
What
because
the heck?
I played the original one, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 times. I bought 2 different copies of it. I bought the fucking novelization and read that in an attempt to better understand the game. Novelization sucks, by the way. and after they got the first game taken offline twice, they had the audacity to make the second one fucking digital only.
Yeah, but you have to consider as well, when you buy games now, how much of the physical is actually physical? Because it seems like
I know there's a lot of games that are like, oh, you have to finish downloading this 100 extra gigs.
Exactly. So
that's a totally separate issue. You can do a physical and do it right, or you can, just not do
they
it
barely
physical.
do that, dude. How many publishers actually do a physical proper?
Nah, I'm with you, Tarks. I prefer physical all day.
It's
I like
usually the small ones.
If I'm spending money, I want to have something to show for it too. And we're spending a lot of money on these games, and a lot of the times, for instance, Blake, you just traded in all your stuff. You can't.
Yeah, so on Twitter.
What?
I guess I'm different.
What's happening? What? I wasn't listening.
You traded. You saying you traded in your stuff on Twitter?
No, I was abusing a GameStop promotion. I got $400 or $500 out of that stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the option you still have when you're doing physical too. I'm a physical guy all day.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm a digital guy all day. I'm gonna buy all my games digital. I don't
You're not a material girl?
I think the last physical game I bought was Cold Steel 4 on PS4. But before that, it's I didn't buy any physical games for my entire PS4.
You all are the problem.
Yes,
No. It's not that with a problem. The thing is that I think when you buy digital, right, if ever you lose your games, if ever the developer says, hey, we're taking it from the store, you no longer have access to it, you have all right to pirate that. That's them giving you the okay, go ahead and pirate it. Take the DLC they didn't buy along with it, Why not? So
I don't believe in all that stuff. If a game gets taken down or something like that, I'm pretty sure I'll have another method of how to play it. But there are only a handful of games that have went down and haven't gone back up. I know Scott Pilgrim went down for a while there, but it's back, so it doesn't really matter. And the only other game I know, I don't know about that one, but the other game I know that hasn't come back in any capacity is not even an RPG or it's a fighting game, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That's the only one that I know hasn't come back, and you can't get it anywhere. So it is what it is. But I'm willing to roll those dice and take that risk on my library.
I do want to throw a question out to you, Shadow, about because you said you're digital, and like we know you're digital. Does it make a difference to you that Alan Wake 2? I know it's not a game that you'd play, but it's Epic Store exclusive.
Oh God,
that does make a difference.
Yeah.
Wait.
That's what I thought.
It's digital only, and you could.
Epic. Yeah. So,
that's a double whammy.
I'm pretty sure it's Epic Store exclusive. Yeah, they funded the game.
That kind of like, is that a timed exclusivity or like it's always going to be on there?
No, Epic funded and published it, so it's probably just EGS.
This feels like a Bayonetta situation. Like this game wouldn't exist without Epic Game Stores, and Bayonetta wouldn't exist without Nintendo. So it's never going anywhere else.
Then I'll never play it.
I mean, I don't mind taking out the Epic Game Store if I really want to play a game. That's fine, but that just kind of sucks.
Hey, Epic's kind of nice with their free games, though. I ain't gonna lie.
I've heard a lot about that.
I claim my free games every week or two when they put them up, but I don't actually play anything on Epic. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like, I claim it just to say that I have it, but do I actually play Epic games? No, I don't actually play anything on their storefronts. I play everything PC wise. I play most of my games on Steam or through Game Pass. That's about it.
Okay, so I'll say for one of these games on here, Resident Evil 4, that I've seen a lot of people get upset that Resident Evil 4 is here because it's a remake. And I'm going to say this, like, okay, it's definitely a remake, but it's such a good remake. It's like...
Debatable.
Oh, man.
I feel like that's biased. Like,
how is it
biased?
biased?
Because you love Resident Evil that much. You're biased.
No,
I mean,
bro,
in general, for it to even be there.
Time out. Bro, I love Resident Evil, but I hated Resident Evil 3 Remake with a burning white hot passion. Fuck that game. That game should go to hell and eat dirt, all right?
Okay, I got a question for you, Shadow. What if instead of let's say it was just this good though? What if instead of Resident Evil 4 remake being here, the Dead Space 1 remake was here?
That would have been a great choice too, in my opinion. But I think that one like has a lesser degree to it because it's kind of a remake and then it's kind of not a remake at the same time. I feel like Resident Evil 4 is a better remake than Dead Space remake. If that makes sense.
I think the only reason that can be said is because Resident Evil 4, I feel like there's two pathways to go down a remake these days. And one is like the reimagining path and the 1-to-1 remake path. I feel like Resident Evil, a lot of games that are doing the reimagining path go out of their way to make the game better.
Yeah,
and it seems like what Resident Evil 4 is doing. Like a lot of the new stuff that people are hyped and happy about, that this new Resident Evil 4 version is probably the reason why it's even being talked about as a contender for Game of the Year, because you know what a lot of people are saying. They're like, why is a remake being nominated
let me ask this. Let me ask this. Since you played this, Shadow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're a fan of like the original, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How much is how different is it from the original one?
It's pretty different. It's pretty different.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like different in a way of like Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, pretty much for the most part. It's
I
not like you can
sure?
literally say like go play Resident Evil 4 the original and play the remake. You're almost playing kind of two different games. There are some like of course key points that are still there, but really there's a lot of things different. Yeah, there's a lot of things different about it. But the Resident Evil 4 OG is still great, still good. And I wouldn't even say that the remake is like a definitive version of the game. I don't even know if I would say that, go that far.
It seems like in today's age, a lot of companies are now looking into doing the reimagining path versus the remake path, because obviously there are certain mechanics in games that they did not age well. So if you did a 1-to-1, if you don't update those mechanics and you give them straight to 1-to-1, it's like, it doesn't really help the game. It just looks prettier. But I know it is odd. It's like people are, you hear people screaming about why is Resident Evil 4 here? It's a remake. It shouldn't be here type of conversation.
Yeah, that might be a conversation.
The Dead Space remake didn't change much besides like some fast travel mechanics, right?
Yeah.
That was definitely that was definitely like borderline 1-to-1.
Yeah, borderline.
I want to say Dead Space would have never stood a chance in the conversation anyway. Like the game.
Yeah.
So these award shows are a lot about like mass appeal and like Resident Evil's an M-rated game, Baldur's Gate, Alan Wake 2, they're all M-rated games, but like Dead Space is kind of disturbing without anything like artistically important behind it, so it's not really going to get that massive crowd appeal like a fun Resident Evil game is, or like it's not going to get that artistic appeal like a disturbing Last of Us type game would get. So like Dead Space almost would have never stood a chance.
Not Dead Space 1.
Okay. So let's just go real quick.
Hold on, we got a super chat. We're just waiting to read.
Go ahead.
We got from Sebastian with the $2 super chat saying, instead of Alan Wake 2, why not have Final Fantasy 16?
No,
I put 16 there.
Man.
No,
16 is one of my favorite games I played this year. I was listening to the soundtrack earlier today. I love 16, but people don't want to hear.
No.
I like 16 a lot. It doesn't deserve to be there. There are so many weird little things there's so many weird little things that just like a good developer would have never done, and I don't get it.
Honestly, I'm not mad that it not made. Like I said, I enjoyed my time with it, but would I play it again? Hell no.
Hell no.
I thank God.
I thank God. I was on my hands and knees and saying, thank God that this freaking game, Final Fantasy 16, did not make the Game of the Year nominations.
Boss battles though was amazing. But
yeah, they were amazing. I ain't gonna lie, they were great. Like there were some times where my eyes were just wide open, my mouth was just down, and I was just like, "Holy shit, what the fuck is going on here?" Yep. But yeah, other than that, I don't think that game deserves maybe action game, and I don't even think it's an action game of the year. So either way, who do we believe of this category is going to actually win game of the year?
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate, definitely.
The only way I'm
hoping for either Baldur's Gate or Spider-Man.
I was about to say Spider-Man 2,
yeah. I was gonna say it's either Spider-Man 2 or Baldur's Gate.
Now wait a minute now. How y'all gonna disrespect Tears of the Kingdom like this? When that game came out, people were like, "That's game of the year, easy." There's no way. Like Zelda, I love that game.
Hey, some people
just
saying that's the Final Fantasy too.
They wouldn't give it to Tears of the Kingdom.
I think Tears of the Kingdom won't get it specifically because of the Switch. I think if there was a new Switch released and it had like better performance,
you were thinking this.
I think people could remember. People are basically going to base this on their experience with the game and the reviews of it. And the reviews of this game has been, "Oh, it's such a great game." And the only bad thing they've had to say about it is that it would have been better on a more powerful device. So I think that's the only reason Tears of the Kingdom doesn't take it.
So I like Tears of the Kingdom a lot, but like we already have the Resident Evil 4 remake. We don't need a Breath of the Wild remake too.
I was gonna say whatever wins Game of the Year, if it's not Baldur's Gate, there's going to be a pattern that Jeff Keighley's Game Awards seem to take, depending on what wins this year. If Tears of the Kingdom wins this year, then one of my theories will go out the window. And one of my theories is that it seems that when they decide who wins Game of the Year, it's usually not a game from a specific franchise that won, a year or two ago. Outside of the From Software games, this seems to be the case. So, like when it came to
Sekiro and Elden Ring both won, right?
Yeah. But outside of
honestly, this year was insane. Like the year that Breath of the Wild won. It doesn't compare to this year.
It doesn't compare, but it was still very close because like it was like people really didn't know if it was going to be between Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, that's true.
But Breath of the Wild won that year, so people are thinking it's not going to be given to Tears of the Kingdom because Breath of the Wild won it in 2007. And then same thing with God of War 2018. God of War Ragnarok didn't win its Game of the Year because people said that it's because God of War Ragnarok didn't. God of War 2018 won 2018. So people are thinking that since this may be a pattern, Spider-Man might win because Spider-Man came out in 2018 and lost to God of War in 2018. They're like, okay, we're going to give it to Spider-Man this year, and if we're going to give Baldur's Gate 3 anything, it's going to win RPG, and that's how we can uplift both of these games. This is the best RPG for all of the RPG fans, but Spider-Man is for everybody. Everybody loves Spider-Man, and plus we can jack off Sony, Marvel, and Disney all at the same time.
I think your tinfoil hat is showing a little bit.
No, I'm just saying. Come on now, you got Disney, Marvel, and PlayStation all staring down Jeff Keighley, and you think he's not gonna, try and give them a little jerk off on the side?
I think he will be objective.
I think all I said is that if Baldur's Gate 3 doesn't win Game of the Year, I can see that being the case. I think Baldur's Gate 3 is going to win, but if it doesn't win, I think that's what is going to happen. It's going to win RPG, and Spider-Man's going to win Game of the Year.
Here's a question to that, right? So Baldur's Gate is up for RPG of the Year, right? It's also up for Game of the Year. Of all the RPGs that we've got up for Game of the Year, right? I think how many of these are Japanese RPGs? Final Fantasy 16 is.
Now hold on, sir. We're gonna get there. Relax.
Oh, we're gonna get there. Okay,
we're gonna get there. Relax. All right. So I think it's universal that we all think Baldur's Gate 3 is gonna take Game of the Year.
Personally, I want Spider-Man 2. I want Spider-Man 2, but I feel like Baldur's Gate is gonna take it.
Okay. Actually, don't want Spider-Man to win.
All right, so no love for Mario Wonder. It didn't wonder you guys. It wasn't.
Ain't no way a 2D Mario game wins Game of the Year in any timeline. As much as Mario Wonder is great, there's no way. Then again, this is the same group of people that gave It Takes Two Game of the Year. There's no way It Takes Two deserves.
They also give it to Stray at one point,
bro. That game is brilliant. Nothing wrong with it.
Didn't Stray win a Game of the Year title? Stray. They gave it to Stray because the cats.
Did Stray win something?
I could have swore Stray won
too much.
Either one, it's Game of the Year
best
or
art direction, best music, best indie game, like best
Gosh.
Best game starring a cat.
Oh my fucking god!
All right, let's go on to RPG of the Year, and this will be the last category that we discuss about the Game Awards. I don't think any other character matters.
I think strategy could be
we good.
Lord?
We good.
We got two Japanese games in there, Advance Wars and Fire Emblem.
All right, so for best RPG, we have Baldur's Gate 3. We got Final Fantasy 16, what is just a terrible choice. Lies of P, Sea of Stars. So why the fuck is Starfield here? All right, we got Starfield as well.
Sorry, I'm seeing this list for the first time. Starfield is just kind of hilarious. It really does not fit in with the rest of them.
No,
we all know why Starfield is here.
Microsoft needed some sort of representation. What else have we got?
Like, you guys can't get Game of the Year, but basically what I was saying with the Game of the Year thing. If we're not going to give Baldur's Gate 3 Game of the Year, we can give it RPG. It's the same thing. If Starfield can't get into one of the slots for Game of the Year, we could toss it into the RPG section.
All right.
That's
so, just looking at this list, Baldur's Gate 3 is clean sweep, right? Final Fantasy 16, too many weird things going on with it. Didn't quite hit as hard as it should. Lies of P, too fucking difficult. I feel Sekiro also won once.
Yeah.
Lies of P didn't really take off the way Sekiro did. Sea of Stars, still kind of underground. Starfield, it depends on how much money Microsoft has.
I have a tin. I think this is a tinfoil hat.
Okay, you gotta make sure this tinfoil hat theory is condensed. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, no, I'll keep it quick. I wonder if the hype behind, because Lies of P did have some hype, but Tarks is right. It wasn't on a Sekiro level. I'm wondering if this was made by From Software, would it be up there with it?
Oh, certainly a lot more people would have played it. That's for sure.
Yeah, because as far as I've been hearing from people that have played Lies of P, they say it's the best Souls-like not from Software. As a big Neo fan, that says something. So I'm like, nah, I'm someone that believes that Neo is the best non-From Software.
No, I've been hearing the same thing about Lies of P too, but I've also been hearing there's like some, and like this kind of comes with the genre, but some like really imbalanced difficulty spikes that just feel a little cheap along the way, and I think that's going to clear a lot of people out.
Yeah, but no, I think there's some From Software bias that is probably From Software tax. I don't know.
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, I
only played the that like demo thing that came out. And for philosophy, I do want to play it because the demo is actually really fun, and I agree with what people are saying that it's probably the closest thing we'll get to Bloodborne 2.
Bloodborne. Yeah.
Like it's really polished, really fun. Like I don't even know. Like the only thing I didn't like was the dodge mechanic. I thought that was pretty weak. Like it was kind of useless. But it's a very it was from the demo I played. It was a solid game.
All right, so I'm just gonna say this. I don't care about anything here for the most part. Sea of Stars probably should take it. Starfield, I don't know why the hell it's here. It was a crappy game. People just hyping it up for
now. It wasn't bad.
All right, fine.
It is. Baldur is definitely gonna take it, especially if it doesn't win Game of the Year.
Starfield is just the same thing as Final Fantasy 16. It's just Bethesda's version of it, like a big game that they've got a lot of experience building games like this. But for some reason, there's all these fucked up decisions that they just made poorly.
Yep.
I think the main issue with Starfield is that it's a typical Bethesda game released alongside a bunch of much more ambitious and modern RPGs in the same year.
The Xbox tax, I tell you. Xbox tax.
Like, it's a good Bethesda game. One of the best Bethesda games, I'd say. But when you release, say, next to freaking Baldur's Gate, Cyberpunk, Phantom Liberty, FF16, you just can't compare.
Did you finish it, Bo?
What, Starfield?
Yeah.
No, because I don't play Bethesda games for the story. I do side content.
All right.
I finished it.
You can get lost in that shit. We all know how I feel about Final Fantasy 16. It does not deserve to be on this list. It was already said in the chat. Octopath Traveler 2 got robbed. It should have took Final Fantasy 16 space easily.
I think 16 deserves it.
Maybe I'm just being a little bit hateful, but like I will admit 16. You guys already said like the boss battles. Absolutely mad.
Bro, Titan lost, bro? My God.
Freaking Titan, Bahamut, like I think
I said the Bahamut battle was the peak of that fucking game.
I will say I just let him get off Neo Flare just so I could see it, and I was just like, it was.
Bro, he said, "Kill me, bro. Go ahead, do it, fucker. Kill me."
That's basically what I said. I was like, do it. But then I realized that the game just starts you back off after you die with like full potions and shit, and I was like, oh, so no difficulty here. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I'm mad about with 16. But if I take my hate to the side, does it deserve to be on Best RPG? I guess, even though its RPG mechanics really don't mean shit. But we're not.
I mean, what other game? Oh, I guess people would say Octopath 2 should be on here. Ace was celebrating in the chat. The Octopath wasn't here, but speaking of Ace, so we got a super chat from Night Fury saying currently invoking. In some dark magic to make FF16 win RPG of the year. Yes, sir, Night Fury. Yes, sir. We stand this.
We don't as I was saying, Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 17. Let it go back to turn based. Go ahead.
And as I was saying, Ace Breaker with the $2 super chat. Octopath don't deserve shit.
What? Oh my God,
bro! Ace hates all the games from that team.
Yeah, anytime they make something, bro, that's like that Plankton meme. Everything I do is wrong in your eyes.
All right, so I think we all agree that Baldur's Gate 3 is gonna take this clean sweep. Okay, so let me ask you guys a question. Even though, we know the history of Final Fantasy, especially modern Final Fantasy. I'll say starting from Final Fantasy 13, that it took those games a long time to develop. A lot of time went through. We barely got any information, and Square Enix, at least on this one, 16, had a pretty competent development cycle. Do we think that since 16 is probably not going to win Best RPG, it wasn't even nominated for Game of the Year, do we think Final Fantasy 16 was a real success?
I think so. I also think it's going to take Soundtrack of the Year.
It would absolutely deserve it.
It could take that. It could definitely take that. That's a good one.
Definitely.
Okay.
Financially, I don't think 16 has broken even.
Oh yeah,
Really?
see? Yep.
Oh yeah, because
By their words, they just told us it was within expectations.
They lying. They sitting there lying to us.
Which is fucked up for Square Enix, the company that nothing lives up to their expectations.
I know, right? Anytime they release a Tomb Raider game, what do you mean it did 5 million and not 10 million?
Any game, it doesn't matter. That sounds like damage control to me.
You know that one SpongeBob clip where SpongeBob is screaming at Gary to go, and then you see Patrick with the rock.
It's okay, buddy. Take your time.
That's fucking Square with Final Fantasy.
Yeah, so I'm thinking Final Fantasy 16. I hope maybe Square Enix takes the criticism to heart and maybe just goes back to form with 17. But I don't want more of this. I really don't. at all.
You said go back to form with 17, but here's the thing, Roy. You like how Final Fantasy VII Remake the gameplay is,
okay,
right?
yeah, we can go back to that. We can go to that. That's fine.
So when it comes to action RPG gameplay, there is something that you like, just not what Final Fantasy 16 did, apparently.
Yeah,
So
I feel like 16.
If you wanted Final Fantasy VII to be using the engine and gameplay mechanics of the 7 Remake, then maybe that's the path they should go if they're not going to do turn-based.
I don't know if I even care if they use that. It's just the problem is Final Fantasy 16 is super duper casual RPG. It literally is like Final Fantasy 15 came up with the moniker when you start the game for Final Fantasy for newcomers and series and fans. That's basically this game as well. And it's super casualized. Again, I said in the past, you die, you get a full stock of potions. There is no urgency in this game to do well.
And I played it on hard, and it was still easy.
Yeah, and then you could do combos and whatnot. I think Talks already mentioned it's like it's a shame that they compared this to DMC. But like all those combos that you can do, because I've seen Twitter videos, you don't have to do any of those. The enemies die with just the basic combo of XX or square, special ability. And that's it. You don't have to do anything else. And it's like they have this illusion that you can do this stuff, but it's a time waster. It's just
I would say it's not a time waster. The fact you can kill enemies faster.
Yeah, you can definitely exploit it if you just do that.
Now, for that fact alone, I won't say it's a waste, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they're just like the RPG mechanics of leveling up your attack, your defense. It's just like I'm pretty sure I can do a playthrough. Like you know how you guys see those videos.
Level 1.
Yeah, do a level 1 playthrough, or can you beat this without doing this? I'm pretty sure I can beat Final Fantasy 16 without upgrading a damn thing. And, I would give myself like 3 tries or maybe 2 tries with these boss.
The window for perfect dodge is so wide. Like,
oh my god!
I don't know how people get hit.
Like you can literally do the knockdown, and you know how you have the quick time of the QTE to like automatically kill him or take out the what is it? You press like circle or something. You can literally spam that. Just keep knocking them down. Do that, and rinse and repeat, and you'll automatically like take down the little fodder characters easy.
But yeah, that's enough about shitting on 16.
Blake, you want to do your job there?
Super chat with the $2 from Shadow King saying Final Fantasy 16 is mid at best.
Yes.
Final Fantasy 16. Final Fantasy 16 is one of like the best poorly designed games I've ever played.
Yeah, it really is.
Like I did enjoy exploring and breaking the combat even more than it was already broken. It's just seeing how OP I could get. But like I feel like I hit the ceiling of that potential by mid game. Like by the time you get what is it, Lightning Orb or whatever it's called?
Oh yeah, Ramuh's little thing you put on the ground and it amplifies your damage.
Wait, it sends lightning out that hits all the enemies around it if you target and attack the orb. But if you use like other attacks like Titan's a really fast punching thing, the DPS is insane.
Yeah,
and like you can boost that tenfold with like I think it's like Bahamut's laser or something, whatever the fuck it is, but. It's really easy to break the game.
Honestly, I think the game would have been much better. And I don't know, like, I don't think that it would have been hard to do because the combat is so simple, it needed variety. If all the other characters was playable, I think that would have helped it a lot better.
That would have also fixed the game's shitty loot system.
Yes.
Because you can only pick up so many things to make gear for Clive. Like,
yep.
It gets boring collecting shit after a while.
Yep.
500 magic ash, like what the fuck is that?
I literally didn't buy shit at the store.
I had a shit ton of money by the end.
I upgraded that sword. That was kind of it.
And for what? We upgraded the sword. Blake, you had a shit ton of money. What did we do with all that money?
This is like baby's first RPG.
Yes. One of my favorite parts of the game because it was so fucking stupid. Is one of the last side quests in the game. You get like this ingredient list to make this super sword, right? Mm-hmm. So you bring it to the blacksmiths. You get the sword made. And it's this big deal that they got it made. And then they're like, yeah, I think I can make a better one. Just bring me some other stuff.
Oh, that.
Yeah, like this legendary sword that they're all fawning over. And they're just like, I could probably make a better one. Like, it's no big deal anymore.
So, yeah, Final Fantasy 16 is crazy. We don't think it deserves to be anywhere. But
yeah, we got another super chat real quick from Draco with $2 super chat saying, "Hi Blake, yeah boy, praying for that Spider-Man 2 snub. Don't you have to be stupid somewhere else?"
Why are you snubbing Spider-Man 2? That's a great game.
Spider-Man 2 is oh my
it's my game of the year. Like that game
gave Venom fans something, bro. Oh,
for real. God. Like the things and the suits.
Oh my gosh, we've been starving all these years.
Oh my god. And
okay, I'm gonna admit something about Spider-Man 2 that I don't actually like, and it's gonna be surprising.
Mary Jane's face, I agree.
I don't care about Miles that much.
But whoa, hey! Someone get Joe Biden in here. Take his ethnicity away, bro. He said he doesn't care about ethnic spider. That's
I'll
crazy.
say this. I definitely think that I'm glad that they gave Peter like the symbiote or whatever, because like Miles was kind of getting way more OP than
fun to play. Yeah, because Peter was just like, I got technology. Miles was like, that's cool. I can shoot lightning from my hands.
Yeah, like they kind of went over the top of Miles' freaking Venom.
So let me ask you guys a question real quick, and then we'll move on to the next topic about Spider-Man. When you guys think Spider-Man, who are you thinking? Peter Parker or Miles Morales?
I mean, obviously,
Peter. Modern day, I think Miles, just because I always prefer Miles over Peter.
I think Peter. I grew up old school.
I think Peter, but I'm not one of those people that's opposed to, like in the game, they go really hard by just saying, "Hey, Spider-Man, hey, Spider-Man." Like they refer each other just Spider-Man. Like,
specifically, it was the Spider-Verse movies that made me prefer.
Miles is definitely Peter. A way cooler character now, but Peter will always be.
Yeah, see, and I think just because Peter Parker has been so like overdone to death over the last like 2 decades, it's always Spider-Verse has popped off so much because it's a new Spider-Man, and it's also fleshing a light onto all the other Spider-Man, like Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Gwen's coming up in popularity now.
And that's another thing. They upped the freaking visuals of the costumes. Noir looks insane, especially when you see him in the cutscene. Oh my god.
I was gonna say thank you, Twitter girls, for the rise in Spider-Gwen.
Yes, sir. Yes,
that's why I want the Spider-Gwen game.
I think the thing too as well is, even if you consider like who's Spider-Man and whatever have you and so forth, I think anyone I speak to always says Miles Morales Spider-Man. I don't think anyone. Yeah, I don't hear people saying, Spider-Man is like, because like even like with my kids, they say Miles Morales Spider-Man. Like even
that's cool actually.
In the cartoons and stuff that they have for kids, they call each other by their names, like Miles, Peter, and they do the Spider-Man thing as well. But it's Miles Morales Spider-Man, and even on the comic books, it's written as Miles Morales Spider-Man. That's on the comic book.
So will we ever get to a point like if say Spider-Man 3 comes out and it's just it actually is Miles Morales and it's not Peter?
Has that been confirmed?
Oh, I don't know.
They said the next game, Miles is going to kind of like be the focus. Peter will still. I don't think they cut Peter as being playable, but they're slowly me like Miles is gonna be the focus of the story, like how in Spider-Man 2, the main focus of the story was Peter and like Harry and like the symbiote and stuff, and Miles had like his own stuff going on, but it's gonna be like the reverse of that in theory.
Hey, I seen that comment, fried chicken. You ain't slick.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm still stuck in 2001. I think Spider-Man. I think Tobey Maguire.
Yeah,
and it would be a little fucked up if he was playing Miles.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's spaceable to them though. I think you can like both of them.
I think the thing is here's the problem. DC, when DC made the different Robins, they never used officially the differences between the Robins as like their main thing. It's like, who is the current Robin? They are the Robin, right? But the problem with Spider-Man is when they introduced Miles as a Spider-Man, we all know they introduced him as Miles Morales Spider-Man. So now it feels like they're trying to like reverse correct and make him like what Batman has with all of the Robins. You have your Dick Grayson, your Damian, and then
Tim Drake,
Jason Todd. They're all Robins, but the only reason we know their identity is to differentiate them. But when they're Robin, right? So it's like And there's a couple other superheroes you could say that's the same case with. Like their superhero name is the title, but when it comes to Spider-Man, it's the foundation of how they set it up. That's why there's this like back and forth between the thing. But it definitely seems like Marvel now is trying to retroactively make it like how that is. But yeah, I'm one of those people where it's like when I think Spider-Man, I think of Peter Parker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when people are like, and when people say, "Oh yeah, Peter Parker, he's kind of stale," like, I think the only reason Peter Parker is stale now is because they made him stale now. The Spider-Man that I know. The Spider-Man that I know is a fucking troll. He doesn't when he's out there and doing his thing, he doesn't shut the fuck up. He's hilarious and it gets on the enemy's nerves, and that's one of the things that has made Peter Parker Spider-Man entertaining and cool as a superhero. It's the fact that he was just wild.
Miles'
Peter
quips
Parker
don't hit as deep as
I think actually one of the reasons I much identify more with Miles now as my Spider-Man is that because you gotta think how long Tom Holland has been like the on-screen Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I do not like his portrayal of Spider-Man.
Me neither.
Really?
I like Tom.
I don't believe you for that.
I think the only live action Spider-Man that did a good job at being Spider-Man is the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
Yes, sir.
When he was when he's not a good Peter Parker.
He's definitely not a good Peter Parker.
I feel like the best Peter Parker, I think they all kind of suck, but the best one technically, if we're judging them, is Tobey Maguire. But the best Spider-Man is the Andrew Garfield Spider. If you're probably not going to go back and rewatch the Amazing Spider-Man movies, but if you saw how Spider-Man was acting when he was in the suit and fighting his villains, that was the most authentic to the comic and original cartoons. Is that one that crazy, wild, in your face, and in the video game, the 2018 Spider-Man. When he was fighting Kingpin, he was kind of doing that at the beginning, but then they started to transition into this, I got to deal with life, and I'm not really doing all of the crazy stuff while I'm Spider-Man, and now we're gonna go into this whole depression Peter Parker thing, and it's just like, I feel like that's one of the reasons.
Let's calm down with the Spider-Man talk. We love Spider-Man. And we all know that Peter Parker.
It definitely deserves a spot in the category. So I'll say that much.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's move on right now. Let's talk about some controversy that has been happening over the past week or so. I think Like a Dragon Gaiden, it released recently.
No, it's no, you're right. It's Gaiden. I forgot that's the other name. Yeah. The man who erased his name.
Yeah, the man who erased his name. That released recently. I didn't even know that's the case.
Like a week or two ago.
I can't believe I missed out on that. But yeah,
is it on Game Pass or something?
It is on Game Pass.
Oh wow, interesting. Okay, so that released, and there's been some controversy about the fan favorite, the main character of the series, Kiryu, and his English voice actor.
Yeah.
Young Ye.
So yes, his
Young Ye.
It's English.
Oh, is that how you say it? Sorry.
Yeah, I think it's Young Ye. Yeah, I think that's what it said.
Yeah, no, he's correct. It is Young Ye.
So yeah, the English voice actor of Young Ye, and people are saying that this is 100% of miscast. That he should not be voice acting this character. And
I don't know who Young should be voice acting.
So here's I don't think it's a bad voice. I think it's just a miscast. Like if he was someone else, he'd be fine as a voice actor. It just doesn't fit Kiryu.
He sounds like a side character, like an NPC, to be honest.
Here's a question: how many of you guys have played the Yakuza games?
I played one.
All right, so I've done all the Yakuza games up to 6, and I'm a big fan of. I'm accustomed to the Japanese voice of Kiryu. I never really played with the English voice as much when I was playing it.
Cute. I'm gonna let you go, but let's first listen to the Young Ye's voice.
Complaints. Go on then.
Let's listen to this first. I'm gonna play the clip. It's about 24 seconds or less than that because at the end there's a troll. But if you guys can listen to it in the chat, you guys want to listen to it, we'll see what the problem is. All right, so I'm gonna play it right now.
And you can go home in one piece. But if you don't, just remember, going down this path was your choice.
So that was a snippet of his voice. And
you sure to play the snippet of the singing.
Yeah, I was gonna find that one, but
no, the singing was so bad, man.
All right, so wait, I'm gonna let.
They're definitely breaking the law with that one.
Well, they shouldn't have fucking auto-tuned it.
Okay, so
go ahead. Yeah.
I've played the Yakuza games in Japanese, right? Because at the time when it was coming out, that's the only option you had at the time. And I find Kiryu's voice songs great as in the Japanese voice. Now, with the way Young did it, I didn't even know it was him. Like honestly, I'm subscribed to Young on YouTube. Yeah, I'm subscribed to him, but I didn't know it was him.
And you watch his videos regularly. You couldn't figure out that was him.
I couldn't figure it was him. Honestly, and then when I saw the controversy thing come up, and he was addressing it, I was like, shit, you do voice acting? I didn't know he did voice acting. I think he did a good job of Kiryu. I think as a
You're definitely in the minority with that one.
Maybe I'm in the minority. I don't know, but I've played all the games. I love the Yakuza games, and I think he did a pretty good job of it. I was expecting, from what I heard from what people were saying, I was expecting him to sound like high voice, squeaky, whatever. I thought he did a pretty decent job. You know, I don't think he deserves the hate he's getting for the voice he's done of the character. I don't know. I don't believe, and I've been hearing rumors about like, oh, he didn't earn the right to have the character. I think he did, because I mean he did like a whole reel of all the characters he's done voices for in different games or anime and so forth, and the guy's a solid voice actor, right? So for me personally speaking, as a fan of Yakuza, a fan of the Like a Dragon games, I play pretty much every single game that comes out on it. It was one of the first games that went into my Steam Deck. I think he does a great job of Kiryu. I honestly think he does a good job of it. I don't think he deserves the hate. I think people are just buttered, and they want their original voice actor or whatever the fact they want, more so than to say, hey, this guy is okay at the job. Because I think if he was doing the voice from before, no one would have said shit.
I don't know. Like I think a lot of people recognize his voice in this particular portrayal of Kiryu, because even though I don't watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I know he voiced somebody there, and I couldn't tell there that it was him. Like even after you told me, I still couldn't tell you that it was him. But in this portrayal for this game, it just sounds like him just with a deeper voice, and I'm just like, no,
really.
I know. This is not.
You're like, wait, Young, is that you?
Yeah, exactly.
I do think he was doing more voice acting than I was expecting. This is probably the least I've ever heard him sound like a plank of wood, but like, he just sounds like a whole.
Oh wait, he was Poochie?
He's done a lot of exactly. You see, that's the point. You didn't even know who he was. There's so many voices he's done that the exact same reaction you just gave is what I gave when I figured out he was a voice actor. I was like, holy shit, he does voice acting? Like, he's this character? He's that character? Would never.
Another issue with this is that Kiryu is pushing like 60 at this point, and he's trying to sound like this 20 edgy, just tough guy, and he doesn't have the voice for that, in my opinion. Like, he just takes me out of it.
I don't think he sounds like an edge guy, because Kiryu's voice is sort of like because okay, I'm speaking from the Japanese voice acting now. So Kiryu's voice is sort of gritty, kind of like,
right.
You know,
I've heard it.
You know, and his voice has always been that way, right? It's always this badass voice. But I've never really heard the English voice acting for him. So when I heard Young, I was like, compared to the Japanese voice, this is not bad for an English voice for Kiryu as a character. Because even though Kiryu is pushing 60 or whatever, Kiryu doesn't look like a 60-year-old, like a traditional 60-year-old. He looks like Kiryu, but with gray hair. That's basically what he looks like, right? So I don't think he needs the song like, my back's hurting, oh, give up. No, he needs a song like kind of like Kiryu, badass, kick-ass. And I think Young did a job. I think he did a good job.
And you think he sounds badass and kick-ass as Kiryu? Really? And you played all the Yakuza games?
Here's the thing. I think from the bits I've heard, yes. No, I haven't installed this particular game yet because I've been playing Trails. But because everyone's talking about this, I think I'll install it on my laptop and I will test it and see how it sounds to me playing through this, right? But I honestly think I don't think it's a big deal. I think people make a big stink out of voice actors, like, oh, this doesn't sound
no,
like
this is a big deal because the voice is the character. You got to hear this for 20, 30, 40 hours.
And here's my thing with it, right? If you really don't like his voice, do what I do. Play it in Japanese, because I've played all the Yakuza games in Japanese because that's what I started with. That's what I'm accomplised to.
Well,
right?
Interesting that you should say that, Q. Because Like a Dragon,
nice segue.
like a Dragon actually had an English dub, and I don't know if
I
anybody
never
played
knew that.
it, but
It was good.
But Kiryu also made an appearance in that game. And and I'll tell you this: I haven't played any Yakuza games. I don't have any intention of actually going back to play any Yakuza games. I might play the newest one with Kiryu. I might play that. I definitely will play Infinite Wealth. But I will say,
you have a Steam Deck, Shadow. Do you have a Steam Deck?
Yeah,
the Yakuza games run great on the Steam Deck. Just putting that out there.
It's not gonna happen anyway. But I'm gonna say that when I heard Kiryu in Like a Dragon, I said I didn't say it was good. I just thought to myself, oh, okay, that's how he sounds in English. That works. You know, I wasn't trying to compare him or anything like that. And I was just like, okay, yeah, that works. When I heard Yang Ye as Kiryu, I was like, bro, that's just you. That's not you're not even trying to do any other voice like you did with the JoJo characters. That's just you. Like,
I don't know if you can right now, Q, but I posted a clip in the Discord of his singing voice in the game.
No, here's the thing. I heard the singing as well. I actually did hear the singing as well. Now, the thing for me is that, again, I've watched Yakuza. I played Yakuza in Japanese, so I've heard Kiryu singing in Japanese. I honestly think most of the time when dub is done for an anime or for a game or whatever have you, and they start singing, I think all of it sounds like shit to me. I don't think anyone has ever done a good singing scene from Japanese to English because the words are different and all that kind of crap. I usually prefer to listen to those things in Japanese.
I will say we can't. This is why I didn't play the karaoke English part of Yang Ye, because I don't think you should be judging the voice actors
on the singing.
On the singing.
Yeah.
So
I think it's fair to recognize, at least with the singing clip too, that Kiryu would probably actually just kind of sing like shit.
Exactly. He's a Yakuza boss.
The biggest problem though with the singing clip is the auto tune that they put on it. I do not get it. Like it makes
that's not Young's fault though. That's
not Young's fault.
Game development, you know.
So I'll extend.
Wait, is there auto tune on the Japanese version?
I'll extend as much benefit to the doubt to Yang as I can. Even if I say he's not miscast, I feel like he's been misdirected.
It could be maybe from the perspective of some people that's the case. For me personally, from what I heard, because I got a little clip they had where they had like, you know, him punching and making grunt songs and him saying a few words, and they had it was sort of like a contrast between the Japanese and his voice, right? So the Japanese one sounded exactly like I expect Kiryu to song, and then when I heard Young's rendition, I was like, oh, okay, that's what English Kiryu songs like. Okay, cool. It's not as gritty as Japanese Kiryu is, because I think Japanese Kiryu songs like someone that you would want to hang out with, but would kick anyone's ass who even just looked at them. You know, he's just super macho. But at the same time, I think Young sounds fine. Like,
so wait, time out. Kiryu sounds macho. He sounds like somebody's gonna kick your ass, but you translate that to English, and he doesn't sound like somebody's kicking your ass. You're fine with that.
I think Young songs. I think because you think about it like this, right? If you've watched Dragon Ball Z, right, and you hear Goku's voice acted in Dragon Ball Z in English and Japanese, completely different. Goku sounds so high pitched in Japanese, right, but in English his voice has a bit more depth to it. And I think
oh my God.
I think the thing is that at the end of the day, we just have to accept that dub is not going to sound like sub, and we just have to accept that. And that's that. I've watched so much anime.
In the modern, this ain't the 90s anymore. You can't get away with that.
The issue with Young's performance is literally that you can tell he's altering his voice as he's performing. You can tell it's an unnatural sound for him.
Like, right, it sounds unnatural.
Let's ask the question.
How do you not hear this, Q? Like seriously.
I'm not hearing it. Here's the thing. Here's what I do, right? I will play this clip to my friends and family who play games or those who don't play games, and ask them which they prefer between English and Japanese.
They don't watch Yang Ye, so they're not gonna know.
Exactly. Only if you watch Yang Ye, maybe you might be able to guess that this is him. I didn't guess it. I didn't tell, because when I hear Yang Ye, I hear when he comes on, I'm Yang Ye, and I'll see you next time. Yang out. That's why I hear Yang. He didn't sound like that for Kiryu. He sounded a little bit different.
Yeah, he sounds deeper. That's about it.
Nah, at this point, I expect Kiryu to start talking about Death Stranding or something.
Oh man!
We had a super chat like a while ago. I was just sitting on it, waiting for you guys to finish.
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, I got a super chat from Shattered Glass 23 with the $5 super chat saying FF16 made $3 million. Not good for mainstream Final Fantasy. FF17 needs FF7 remake style gameplay, hybrid turn-based to bring fans back. Gamers finally spoke with their wallets.
We will adjust the super chat, but not gonna stay on it for too long. I will say, 17 should go back to FF7 style or do like a traditional, but Final Fantasy 16 probably not doing that good for a mainstream Final Fantasy is pretty accurate.
We also got to take into consideration that it released only on the PS5, which has a pretty small adoption rate around the world.
Yeah. I think this is the first mainline Final Fantasy to be exclusive to
a console.
Because I guess the 7 remake.
No,
7
was timed exclusive as well. I think
it was also on PS4, and PS4 had a massive install base compared to PS5.
I think the thing as well, like for a lot of people, myself.
Let's not say on this too much. We want to get back to Yakuza.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna get back to that, but I think for a lot of people, we already know that it's gonna come to PC at some point, so we're just waiting. Because I'm assuming, Shadow, you're in that boat. I mean, you've probably played the game already, but you're also waiting for that PC release, aren't you? For Final Fantasy 16.
Not for 16, not anymore.
You're not gonna double dip.
Nah, I'm good. They didn't
I
get
don't trust you, Shadow. I don't trust you double dip
I
all
will
the time.
sail the high seas with my pirate flag waved proudly, and I will download the PC version for free because fuck Final Fantasy 16. Okay, I'm done.
Jesus.
Yes, as soon as you see the Tifa mods for Final Fantasy 16, you're going to be saying that line a little different.
Hell yes. Hell yes. That's exactly right. That's what's going to happen.
But yeah, let's get back to Yakuza. And Yange and Q.
Y'all just hating on Young,
man. Good ear.
Y'all just hating on my boy Young. Is that game up for any awards or anything this year? Like a Dragon?
No, not so.
Those games never get nominated, even though they're brilliant.
Yakuza 7 got nominated for Best RPG of that year, didn't it?
Yeah, really, did it? Yeah, for like when the year they came out, probably for Best
and
RPG.
It should have bloody well won. I honestly think the Yakuza games are just chef's kiss. They're so good.
For Yakuza games, like I feel like Yakuza games, they have like a strong fan base, but do they sell?
They sell among the fans.
Starting with 0 and 7, the sales have been going up.
Okay. Yeah, true.
The Yakuza releases this year too have been like really under the radar.
Right. Wait, did we get 3 games this year? I just thought about that.
There's been quite a few, and
there's Ishin. I think the sort of like
Ishin, the man who erased his name, and Infinite Wealth. I think all come out this year.
Oh, Infinite Wealth comes out this year.
Hey, question
That's
about
February.
Question about the Yakuza games.
February.
Is this not turn-based like the last one, or no?
No, they're not. They're not. So the ones that have Kiryu as the lead, they're not turn-based. They're like action RPGs. But the ones with what's his Ichiban? Ichiban is the turn-based one.
My boy.
My boy,
Ichiban in this one, though?
Man.
I think Ichiban pops up in this one. Yeah.
Okay. Pretty sure Ichiban's in the singing clip with Kiryu, so I'm pretty sure he's in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a side character, but I think OG Kiryu is the man. Like when Shadow gets off his high horse of not wanting to play the originals and he then plays 0, he's gonna come back on this show and he's gonna be like, "Yo, my boy Kiryu, top tier, chef's kiss."
I don't disagree with that. I'm pretty sure. Like I've seen enough clips, and I saw him in Like a Dragon when I played it, and I was like, yeah, he's probably a really cool character. So I'm not gonna. I got no smoke for Kiryu.
Sort of unrelated, but still on topic. They showed that in jeez, keep coughing. They showed that in Infinite Wealth. I don't know if it's like when you use Kiryu, you summon him or what, but he actually turns the game from turn-based back into action.
Oh,
which I don't think I've ever seen in an RPG before.
Jesus,
that's cool.
Yeah, he has a unique special where he just like grabs the turn order and breaks it and starts beating the fuck out of people.
Yeah, so what tell me that? I would have loved seeing that in the game. That would have been great.
They already showed it.
Okay, I mean, I don't watch the trailers for this stuff, so my bad.
I thought you were skipping Infinite Wealth. I thought you said you weren't playing Yakuza ever again or something.
No. I'll play Infinite Wealth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll play Infinite Wealth definitely.
I feel like for me the only thing I think with Yakuza games though, kind of like with the Trail series, I feel like you have to go back and play the older games because it adds more to the story.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. But
have to is a stretch. That's different with Trails. You have to with Trails. This you don't.
No, you wouldn't appreciate it as much.
I think it's like episodic.
See, that's different. That's appreciation. Trails is a continuing, long-running story where you have to have context. It's
the story is continuing, Yakuza. It continues from game by game. It continues the story of Kiryu, at least from 1 to 6. It continues.
Well, I'm saying, but like Yakuza 7, you don't need to play any other game. You can just jump in there and be fine.
Probably.
When you start up Yakuza 6 anyway, they give you like quite
like a
big exposition dump, and like you only need to know 2 things from that for Yakuza 6 to function.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know who like Haruka is and like what her relationship is to Kiryu, and everything after that is like pretty much completely new.
True. Everything is pretty much completely new. But when you've experienced the relationship built with them from the first games coming up, from the first set of games,
it'll have a deeper impact.
It has a deeper impact, and I think that's the thing.
That's true, but you can't compare that to Trails, where if you don't play the previous games, you're just completely lost. Period.
Look, here's the thing. I'm trying to convince Shadow to go back and play Zero. So let's agree.
Oh my God.
Let's agree. It's like Trails.
So he can start at Zero. You don't need to play any other ones before that.
You know what's crazy? Zero's the one that I played, and I was just like, I can't do this.
I will say this about Zero. I found trying to go back to it, the first 8 hours is like a slog.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happened.
I kind of hated having to go learn 6 or 8 different fighting styles, and every time you go to learn one, it takes another half hour, 45 minutes, because there's a whole quest around it and a whole system, and it really drags out the intro. But otherwise, Zero's like top tier.
It is top tier. It is, and I think right now, which is surprisingly, because since I've been testing on my Steam Deck, not everything runs exactly the way I want it to run. That game runs flawlessly at full settings on the Steam Deck, so that shocked me. I think it looks great.
It's not exactly graphically intensive to begin with.
Yeah, it is a PS3 game.
Yeah, so I expect it to run good, at least on a modern handheld device.
True.
All right, so that's Yakuza. We all agree that Yongye didn't do a good job for this.
We don't all agree on that.
One of us.
Well, Q, you're an anomaly. I don't know what's wrong with you.
He really is.
I have no idea how you could watch his videos and say you don't hear his voice. I don't get that. But anyway, I do find it interesting that like Yongye, when the shit started hitting the fan from him, and like a whole bunch of people were telling that he sucks in this role, is that he went on a whole ass blocking spree, just blocking people.
Didn't he block up on Neo GameSpark?
Yeah, he did. He blocked Neo GameStar because like one or two of his tweets went viral, so that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But it's
I can't blame him for blocking haters, but just blocking people that are criticizing is a bit much. But
yeah,
I get it though. That's a big pile on, so I'm not going to blame him.
But here's the thing, Bob, is that the criticism is crazy because he has no problem criticizing Mario when the Mario movie came out. And people were saying that Chris Pratt was miscast as Mario, and Mario just sounds like Chris Pratt. Well, hell, Yongye, you're playing Kiryu, and you just sound like Yongye playing Kiryu. So it's the same type of criticism.
If you say that's fine. Then Glass House and all that.
So yeah, it's crazy how he can't take the criticism, but he can dish it out for, of course, a YouTube video. So.
I can agree with you on that. If you can dish out the criticism, you can take the criticism at the same time. Where I can't is that I'm not bothered by the way he songs. In the same way, I wasn't bothered about how Mario sounded in the Mario movie. So I didn't know he actually said shit about that. But
maybe voice acting just isn't a big deal for you, Q.
Can we just give show of hands how many people are even going to play this in English in this chat?
I wouldn't play Yakuza in English.
I would actually, because I love the dub of 7. So I was kind of looking forward to playing the series going forward in English, but
me too.
Yakuza I will try is one of the only series where I feel like I'm tied to the Japanese VA. It just fits with the setting better.
Mm-hmm,
like with a lot of like Japanese RPGs and fantasy settings, the language doesn't matter as much to me. But like in Yakuza in Japan, it just makes sense.
I think for me it makes sense because I started that way. It's like when I started Dragon Ball, I heard the English dub first. So I literally cannot watch the Japanese dub of Dragon Ball and appreciate it. But then there are other anime series or other games that I've started with the Japanese, and I can't listen to it in English. It sounds like crap to me in English. Yakuza
Dragon Ball, I think, is a rare instance of the English dub actually. Anyway, and, like a rare example from a time when that was incredibly rare.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know, Yakuza, it's just not really the same. I feel like I have to play them in Japanese.
Same.
it just matches. I don't know.
It does match it. And I think
I
Kiryu's
will say this. This isn't the worst Kiryu we've ever had. The first two on PS2 were dubbed in English, and it's
all right.
It's out there.
I've never heard those. I've never heard.
They had Majima was played by the hell's his name? The guy that played Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill.
Oh, Mark Hamill.
Oh, I remember that. I saw clips of that.
But that's a bad voice cast, and it's even worse voice directing. That is not Majima. It's so fucking weird.
All right. Let's move on to Persona 5 Tactica coming out.
Has anyone be able to talk about this? I don't think anyone's played it.
Has played this. I don't think. Does anybody have any intent to play it?
I'm gonna go make a glass of whiskey. I'll be back. I'm out on this one.
Yeah, no, I intend on playing it, but
I wish because this should be up my alley. It just doesn't look interesting to me.
I like a tactical RPG though, so for me, I feel like
I
will play it.
Tactica Persona.
Yeah, it's like for an anime, it's like a filler. It's not really at the top of my list.
Because I'm sure I said a million times, Devil Survivor to me is the best SMT game, and that is a strategy SMT game. But when I look at Persona 5 Tactica, I just don't get that same level of excitement. Nothing I see from it looks interesting.
Yeah, I think what would cause Persona 5 Tactica though is the already investment in the Persona 5 games, because then what most people are gonna ask, do you need to play Persona 5 before you play Tactica? And if the answer is yes, then most people are not gonna play Persona 5 Tactica.
You gotta at least play vanilla Persona 5. Of course, you don't have to play Royal because Alex wants to act like Royal never happened. I don't know.
You can't get vanilla Persona 5 anymore.
Yeah, you can't. Exactly. You can't even get. Wait, you can't?
You can't. Vanilla Persona 5. I don't know if you can buy that. Everywhere I go, you see Royale. That's basically.
You can find a copy somewhere, I'm sure.
Probably online, at least. Copy. You probably have to download it after you.
The only thing is, there's no reason to play it.
Exactly.
Right, unless you just like the original ending or something like your, but whatever.
But the point is that most people who might want to pick up this game and care about like continuity or something like that, they're gonna ask the question.
Hold on 1 second, Q. Somebody's clicking their controller. I don't know if you're not talking. You can't do a game.
Playing Halo. I think it was me. I don't know.
I played Halo.
It was probably you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's what's going to be an issue for some people is, can I actually play this without actually playing Persona 5? And I think the answer is going to be no. And I think for that reason, it's probably going to sell like shit. Also, it's on Game Pass.
To be fair, basically what you just said, it's on Game Pass. That's one thing. But two, don't you think that most people that would be interested in Persona 5 Tactica would be people that are A, Persona fans, and B, have already played Persona 5 at this point in some way, shape, or form?
Probably, but then you have to consider as well, this is a tactical RPG with a very anime chibi art style. You know, there are going to be some people who've not played Persona 5 and sees this and think, "Ooh, this is a cute looking tactical RPG." Maybe they came from a game like Fire Emblem or something, right? And they say, "Ooh, this game looks like Fire Emblem, similar gameplay. I want to jump into this." Maybe they haven't played Persona at that point in time.
And I think those people are way smaller
of
a demographic. Most
definite minority.
Yeah, that demographic that you're talking about is so statistically insignificant that I highly doubt that is the demographic that they are trying to capture. I think the demographic that they're trying to capture are people that like Persona 5.
True. I do believe that's people who like Persona 5, but I feel like with some games it's easier to get into if it's just an easy.
I understand that.
Which is why I think like the Persona games are like Persona Q, where it's just like all characters from a bunch of different Persona games, and it's a unique story and all that kind of stuff. Those are an easier sell because you don't necessarily need to play the source materials or the previous games to get into those to a certain extent, because it's a whole new story involving characters from different games. You know.
Did you feel the same way about Persona 5 Strikers?
I didn't play Strikers.
But you know, Strikers is basically in the same ballpark as Tactica. You technically have to play.
You have to play Persona 5 before you play Strikers. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I guess so. But
5 Strikers more than any Persona. 5 Strikers more than any Persona 5 game that isn't Persona 5 is the one that treats it like an actual story sequel more than any of the others.
Yeah.
Okay.
Much. So
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So, do we think this is it? That this is the last of Persona 5 milking, or do we have 1 or 2 or 3 more games to go?
I think what Blake is saying
sure
is
there's
right.
Another mobile game coming out.
I think what Blake said
there is
right.
a mobile game. That's right.
Persona X, yeah, is technically not out yet.
And the Persona U, they still have to make their fighting game.
Have
They
you
want
done
to
a
get their
dancing
fighting
game
game
yet?
out. Yeah, Persona dancing.
Oh, you think we're gonna get like Persona 5 Ultimax or something?
Yeah, I think we're gonna do a fighting game. Yeah, they're gonna do a fighting. I think once the fighting game comes out, then we'll be over.
And
I think the main.
it's gonna release on like the Switch, where like Persona 5 is probably not even out yet.
See, if
It's gonna
this
be
was
on the
some
new-
other series, I would say maybe this is it, but we don't know how long Persona 6 is going to take. Hopefully, no more than 2 years. But
I feel like I feel like what's gonna happen is Persona 5, the fighting game, is gonna come out, and then you're gonna get the ultimate version that comes with Persona 3 and 4 characters.
I thought we just recently heard about something that said that they're gonna try and get Persona 6 out by 2025.
When did Persona 5 release? Like 2016?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
We're on 7
No,
years
it's 2017.
of spin-offs.
No,
6
2017.
years of
No,
spin-offs.
I think it was 2016. The Japan where this
No.
was 2016.
Oh yeah, Japan was 2016. We were 2017.
Yeah.
So it is 7 years of spin-offs.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
if I was 20 when I first played this game, I'd be 27 now, still playing the spin-offs.
Pushing 30.
I just don't know if people are gonna, if the audience really stays that interested that long.
Yeah.
Especially if like
Right.
Strikers, yeah, that progressed things a little bit, but like I don't know.
I mean, like there are definitely still Persona fans out there, hardcore Persona fans. Every time I go to an anime convention, I see a whole bunch of Persona people cosplay.
Oh, most definitely.
So,
Running
like,
around is
it's
either
still,
on or Joker.
Yeah, it's still strong out here. So it's just like for me, it's just like I think it was Pelvic that said it. Like I'm just done with seeing the Persona 5 cast at this point. Like I just don't want to see them. And then for this,
which one are you more done with? Seeing the Persona 5 class or class 7?
Persona 5 easily. I can see Class 7 all day. But yeah, the Persona 5 cast, I'm just done with. It's not like I hate them or anything like that. It's just that, especially in this style, like this chibi, I don't know what this style is.
I was looking, it's like this is so unappealing to me art-wise.
Yeah, I can't stand this style.
I think I wouldn't be done with the Persona 5 cast if like if we were getting a continuing story with them. Like basically what Strikers was giving me from a story standpoint, I was like, man, I'm glad to see these characters again and what they're doing in progression to like the story that I fell in love with. All these spin-offs are like, oh yeah, it's kind of the side thing doesn't really like take place after the story, kind of somewhere in there. It's not really canon, but it's like
now we're talking about exaggeration.
So like
you're the crux of my issues that like all the story arcs are done. It's like why are you shoving them in my face?
Well, it's not even about their story arcs being done, because you can create a new story arc, like a new character arc for them to like.
Yeah, but they don't. That's the issue.
Like, I understand that they don't. I'm just saying that's. I wouldn't say that's the issue of the. You can make a new character arc if you made a sequel game. But yeah, I agree with you. It's like these spin-off games, you're entering in knowing that you're entering in with your mindset not wanting to invest into a story that isn't really canon. If that makes sense. You're like you're keeping it at arm's length. You're like, this is a side thing. I'm just here for the cast. We're just having a good time. But in the back of your head, you feel like you're wasting your time because this shit ain't canon. If you don't remember it moving forward, it doesn't matter if you do or don't. It's just like that's the problem.
Are these Persona 5 spinoffs, like are the sales good? Like are they keeping the lights on in the meantime of 6?
They're as far as I heard, they're all decent enough.
Yeah.
They're not.
I think they're Persona fans. I'm not gonna call any names or anything. That
No?
just
Assless
buy
ass
copies.
eaters.
You mean Gabby? Okay.
No. There's some on this podcast who'll just buy like 5
Lord?
copies of the same game.
Jeez.
Talking about Shadow.
I say that shit proud with my chest. I will buy 5 copies of Persona 5. I probably would have bought 5 copies of Royal. I don't care, but after this, I'm just done, bro. I'm donezo.
For context, by the way, Striker sold 2 mil.
Oh damn.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it wasn't that recently.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, these games aren't like on the level of Persona 5 sales numbers, but compared to like Atlas's back catalog, they're probably still pretty big.
They're doing better than Soul Hackers.
Man, oh man, you just had to come back and say that of all.
Better than SMT5.
Dude, I seen that on sale for $20 the other day, and I still didn't buy it.
That's too much. Still too much, bro. It's on Game Pass. That's crazy.
I still want to play SMT5.
Still got PTSD from Soul Hackers. So much good things could have came out of that game, but it's just
this Tactica game though. Like visually, this looks like it was made by like one of those budget like NIS studios or like
it does. It does. Looks like a Gus
NIS, yeah.
Or fucking
bro. Freaking what did Soul say when he watched the trailer? He said, "Why they look like gumbo?"
They do look like gumbo.
Real quick to give you context for how much Strikers sold, Persona Q1 only sold 206,000. So that went on to sell 2 mil for Strikers alone.
Jesus.
And they said, let's make another one.
Q1 was pre-Persona 5 though, right? Like before the series had quote-unquote blown up.
The first Q, it was just 3 and 4.
What about Q2?
Q2 didn't break 100K, but that was the end of 3DS's lifespan.
End of 3DS, yeah. If it was on Switch, it probably would have done much better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So that's Persona Tactica. Maybe I might get it, or maybe I might just look at the C and see if it's out there somewhere in the sea. I actually just checked this now. I don't. So
really? Shit.
That's usually a reoccurring payment that I don't mind coming out, but it's just like I'm not signing up for that.
It's kind of wild. I'm more excited for Metaphor than the Persona 3 remake.
I was gonna say as you should, but I don't know about that. Maybe I want to see Metaphor. Yeah, because it's just a new game. Persona 3 I already know what to kind of expect. All right.
I'm expecting changes.
Alrighty, so what else we got to talk about? I kind of drew a blank on topics here, guys. I ain't gonna lie.
Isn't it written down somewhere?
Yeah, I kind of went through the ones that I've written down. So we got anything else? Any other topics that I'm missing that we want to talk about? We want to talk about that Last of Us remaster.
Oh Lord.
Personally, I fucking love Last of Us like 2. Part 2, the gameplay was insane. I'm definitely upgrading. It's only gonna cost $10 for me. I don't know about everybody else.
So wait, what? Like, wait, you're paying for this on PC or something, or Xbox? Sorry, PlayStation. Sorry.
He said Xbox.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't play my PlayStation much, but go on. Yeah, is it PlayStation, PC? How are you paying for this upgrade?
So apparently, if you own the PS4 version, you pay $10 and it'll automatically upgrade your copy to the PS5 version. Now, I don't see a change, and like it's not that big of a difference in terms of like comparison if I would look on the PS4, but it's enough for me. And this is just a personal thing. I don't recommend any, like I think personally there's been a lot of PS5 free upgrades of games in the past. So like Naughty Dog is definitely getting over on everybody. But
that's a lie though. That's a lie because for me, I bought some PS4 games and then when I tried to upgrade them PS5, it just didn't work. That happened to me for and I had my PS5 for some time.
Did it advertise it as a?
It did say that. It did say for a lot of the games that I got, it just didn't work. And I just gave up, and I ended up having to sell those PS4 copies and get PS5 versions of the games. Spider-Man Miles Morales was one of them. I didn't get an automatic upgrade for that. Same for
I think that one had to be digital. Both of those had to be digital.
They had to be digital. From what I googled, it said they were physical was fine because I had a physical copy. I didn't upgrade, so I just gave up. I was just like, "This is stupid." I've
never had an issue with physical disc upgrade paths.
Exactly.
I normally you put in the game, and then it shows you the upgrade path on the menu there, and I download it. It works every time for me.
That's exactly what it's supposed to do, but it didn't work for me for some reason, and I just gave up.
It's because anyway.
It's because maybe PlayStation just hates me because here's the weirdest thing: a friend of mine came over.
I mean, you
logged
do hate
in his
PlayStation
account,
too, so I mean.
And it showed that he could upgrade one of the games. So, I don't know, man. PlayStation just hates me. So.
Yeah, they listening, bro. They heard all the slander. Riku done connect them directly to your line. They said, oh, this nigga wants to play some Xbox?
Hey, yeah,
So let me explain my issue with this bullshit. One, the biggest issue is that all of you excited buying, especially you guys that are buying this at full price, you are enabling this behavior in the gaming community. And I'm tired of this excuse like, oh no, it's not a big deal. We said the same thing in the 2010s with DLC. Look where we are now. Battle passes, microtransactions, blah, 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 you know. And then we have more practices like this coming out. And Naughty Dog, I don't know what the hell's going on over there. You know what's funny? There's going to be people that grow up not knowing Naughty Dog has other games than Last of Us and Uncharted. That's wild. Entire generation.
I'm gonna throw this out there for people who are planning to buy like the Last of Us 2 remake full price, like $79.99, whatever it's gonna be. Just go buy a PS4 copy for $10 and get the upgrade path.
Yeah, but that's the problem.
So I could do that.
Work for me.
Except for Q. Q doesn't matter.
Yeah, they recommend it.
Talk to him.
Everybody,
you also use eBay for like $20 before the price spikes on them.
Tarks, you also have to take this into consideration. You said The Last of Us Part 2 remake. Now,
sorry, remastered. They're gonna make a remake 2 years from now.
Yeah.
You
gotta watch your tone, buddy, with the name, because remember, Last of Us 1 came out on PlayStation 3. It's just called The Last of Us. And then there was the PS4 version called The Last of Us Remastered.
Then there was The Last of Us Part 1. I'm up to date.
So now, so
they really gonna make a Last of Us Part 2 remake.
When PlayStation 6 comes out, you best believe it's gonna be a Last of Us Part 2 remake.
You know what though?
What makes you think it's gonna be PlayStation 6? I think they do them PS5 like a couple years down the line. You know.
I'll say this.
I don't think it's gonna be on PS5.
All three versions of The Last of Us 1 look like they justified the releases. They do not look like the same game. I remember when The Last of Us 1 was getting remastered, everybody's like, that game's hardly a year old. It doesn't need a remaster. But when the remaster came out, like there was no going back to the PS3 version.
Yeah, if you do look at a side by side between the PS3 version and the Part 1, there's definitely a difference, like side by side. It's one of those things where it's like if you played it when it first came out and then you haven't seen it since, and then you see the new one, you're like, oh, I don't see a difference. Like, no, that's your brain and the nostalgia, like talking. Like you remembered it, you remembered it looking good back in PS3. Like you don't.
I do think the difference is going to be a lot less or negligible with The Last of Us 2. Like they're going to look a lot more similar. The remaster.
Yeah.
Because The Last of Us 2, I played both of these games for the first time like last summer. The Last of Us Part 2 almost looks like a PS5 game. Almost. There's room for improvement.
If you're in any game at the end of the generation of the PS4.
If you're in any sort of dimly lit area in that game and you look at the assets, a lot of them are pretty junky. But like most people are looking at the characters, and the characters don't look like they're going to change in the remaster.
Yeah.
So the remaster, and then like I bought the remaster of Lost Legacy, right? The Uncharted game. Or I got the upgrade from the PS4 version. And the difference was night and day, but it's almost all in the environment. So Last of Us Part 2 remaster is probably going to be the same sort of deal with some added content. For $10, not a bad deal.
Here's the question. How many people are actually going to replay the entire game again, though?
Like, so I still haven't finished Last of Us Part 2. So you're saying that I have the PS4 version. So you're saying I can just upgrade to the PS5 version for $10?
For $10, yeah.
But
I don't know if your saves will carry over because they said they're restoring.
No, they said it will. No, they confirmed it.
And you get that new mode, which is like
they're restoring some cut content though, so that's going to be really complicated for save transfers.
Wow, interesting.
Here's another question to that.
They're probably going to do it via cloud.
Here's a question in regards to that upgrade thing, right? Because this is something that bothers me. I don't know if it bothers everyone else. Maybe it doesn't. When you upgrade your game to get like the newer version or the definitive edition or whatever have you, once you pay for that extra upgrade and stuff like that, the old version is still there on your console. Does that bother you when you're scrolling through and you see that old version there and you're trying to pick the new one? That's like
delete it.
Yeah,
no. I'm not talking about when, like, because depending on how your console is set up, you'll still see the games that you don't have installed, and you see the ones you have installed.
We'll set your shit correctly. How about that?
Oh man,
you can set it to hide it. Is that what you're saying?
I honestly,
you can. You can literally hit the options button and hide a game. You don't have to see it.
He was making a what's that expression? An anthill or a molehill out of an anthill.
It's Q. It's Q in PlayStation. What do you expect? He's gonna find something to try and complain about, but not knowing he didn't turn his PlayStation on in years, and they already came out with an update that solves the issue he's complaining about.
But he's one of those people that was complaining he couldn't turn off the noise when his PlayStation turned on and patch that out.
Yeah, I found that that's a thing now, but PlayStation sucks. You know, I'm just saying. I made a trip across the ocean and from Europe to the Americas, and I brought I brought my Xbox with me. I brought an Xbox. I brought my Steam Deck. I left that goddamn PlayStation at home. So that just says enough, you know.
Christ.
I mean, you can get yourself one of those PlayStation portals, and then you got your PlayStation 5 on the go, and you're all good to go. Q.
There you go.
That's some bullshit. We should talk about that PlayStation Portal, by the way.
PlayStation Portal. Like Blake, you are on the floor. You have the floor.
Hold on, now. We got a super chat.
We got a super chat from Sebastian saying Naughty Dog should take lessons from Atlas at milking games. Atlas is pretty effective, and at least Atlas makes new bullshit instead of rehashing the old bullshit. Well, they rehash half of it and they make half of it new.
Not to be fair, Persona 5 is on PS3, PS4, and PS5.
And Xbox and Switch and PC and Epic Games.
Well, I was just talking about in regards to like 3 PlayStations, just like GTA 5 and now The Last of Us 1.
And Skyrim.
But he's got a point though, like at least Atlas comes out with different Persona games, like spin-offs.
That is true.
Naughty Dog is out here just regurgitating the same damn
give me a fucking
game.
dating simulator Last of Us spin-off, bro. Like, come on.
Or give us the factions online one. How about that? Like, Jesus.
No, but like what Souls mentioned earlier, the horde mode sounds cool. I need to see actual gameplay. What they have on paper sounds worth.
Yeah, I think they did show actual gameplay.
It sounds more than just like a fucking six seconds. Yeah. I need to see like the actual like mechanics. Let me see like a match up the horde. But
I'm surprised.
I think that alone is worth $10. Yeah. I think if you're someone who's already played The Last of Us Part 2, you don't want to play it again. Like I don't want to play it again. But that co-op that does look fun. And if you're someone like Shadow that hasn't finished it yet, but they have their save, then you're good for that too. And if you haven't played it at all, then I guess it all in one package, debatably, I guess maybe worth $70. I would say wait for a sale, but you're fine on that.
But you can also buy the PS4 and then spend $10.
That is true.
So they're releasing it for like $70.
I don't know what the price is, but I'm assuming it's 70.
If they're gonna release,
there's no way they're gonna list up.
Yeah, if they're gonna release The Last of Us Part 1, which is just if it is just a single player of Last of Us 1 with no multiplayer on PlayStation 5 for $70.
That was a remake that took a lot more work than what they put into the Part 2.
Nonetheless, this is Naughty Dog and this is a PS5.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They can charge that much money, so they will.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then a few months down the line, they're gonna do a Last of Us Part 1, Part 2 bundle that comes with an LE keychain. And it's gonna be $200.
It's gonna come. It's gonna come with a golf club.
A golf? No.
A golf club keychain with some blood on it. Who knows?
Oh, I'm sure they're gonna give you a little DLC code on your receipt to unlock the golf club in the game.
Damn.
Golf club. Get yourself a G-string.
It's gonna break the game.
That's gonna be a special take.
I do think it is funny that The Last of Us is at a point now where it has more remakes and remasters than actual mainline entries.
That has never happened
in gaming before. That's never happened.
That has happened in gaming.
They're just trying to distract everybody.
It happened with Neptunia.
Oh fuck! I forgot about that.
Wait, Neptunia has Neptunia has more remasters of their games than mainline entries.
No one cares about Neptunia like that.
No. Actually, isn't Elder Scrolls the same way at this point?
Wait, how many remasters does Neptunia have? Hold on, wait a minute.
I feel like every game has at least one, and some of them have 2.
Oh wait, you might be right. Yeah, I keep thinking they remade some games too,
and they also have like so many fucking spin-offs.
I was gonna say, oh my god, the amount of spin-offs Neptunia has.
All they had to do was keep it towards that action game premise, and I'd probably still be in it. But I dropped
that one that released on the video was so shitty. Oh my god,
I dropped that series a long ass time ago. All right, so that's Last of Us. What else we got? We want to talk about that PlayStation Portable. That I think
PlayStation Portal. Get it right.
I'm sorry. Portal.
Yeah, I'm not sure how portable that is. Can you actually play your games out of house with that?
I ain't gonna lie.
If you have a Wi-Fi hotspot,
people be saying on 5G that it runs pretty good.
I'm actually going to get a Portal just because, and I don't have any reason to take a Portal outside of my house, but like I do want to play like some smaller or like bite-sized games, like from anywhere.
That's what I mentioned in the chat.
And also, I got a question: does it still have the adaptive like triggers?
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Adaptive trigger, the haptics.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
Blake, I heard someone mention that they feel like ergonomically speaking, once you get used to how the PlayStation Portal feels in your hand, it arguably feels better than the DualSense. Is that true? Or have you not played it enough?
I bought my Portal yesterday. I didn't use it at all because I was waiting for my screen protector to come today, and I was just lazy. But yeah, my screen protector came this morning, put that on, and I got to use it for about an hour or two today. Yeah, no, it's let me pick it up right now.
Lord, he's giving us a live test.
Actually,
live test.
He's gonna put it on. It's gonna say disconnected, and then he's gonna be like, "Oh well, I'll have to come back and let you know how this works."
my only fear with this is the same fear I had with the Switch Lite. With a Nintendo Switch, if the Joy-Cons get stick drift, you buy new Joy-Cons. Switch Lite gets stick drift, have to buy a whole new fucking console. Jeez. And this piece of technology that Sony has made, I don't know what I don't know if Sony not patched out, but I don't know if they fixed their sticks with drift, because DualSenses were drifting at one point. I don't know if they corrected that for this piece of tech, but if this thing starts drifting in like a year and a half, and I have to buy like another 270 Canadian, I don't know what it is. I mean, it's 200 in America, but yeah. Either way, that's my biggest concern with it right now. Even with the Switch Lite, you can pair another controller to it if you want to use a controller. I don't think you could pair another controller to this remote player. Like, if the sticks go on it, or if something happens to one of the buttons, the entire device is screwed.
But it's relatively easy to repair, like the PlayStation controllers for the most part, for the PS5 at least, the DualSense.
Well, that's a controller. If you're someone that knows how to do that, I'm sure it is.
What I'm saying is like, well, no, you can people can use YouTube. Come on, this is not Salt Park. Anyway, the point is that generally speaking, this shouldn't be. It's not that difficult. From what I've seen, it's not that difficult to take apart the PS5 DualSense controller and replace the sticks itself. So, if this is using exactly the same technology, which I believe it is, based on what they say it's run on, it should be fine to just if the sticks drift, and that's not going to happen to most people. The main issue is how well does this thing work, and who is it actually made for? Like who was out there thinking, man, I want a device that can just stream from my PS5 and not even the cloud or anything like that. Like who's out there thinking that?
It is made for dads.
I think I was thinking about getting it, honestly. Like when there are some games that are only exclusive to the PS5, like I could have been playing Disgaea just sitting there.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that's one of the games.
Yeah, when I played
you got a Wii U? You got a Wii U, Shadow?
Hell no.
A Wii U.
It's a Wii U, right? That's basically what it is.
Don't
it's a bloody Wii U.
Don't disrespect anything comparing it to the Wii U. The Wii U
is garbage. Wii U.
You know he's right. The Wii U was fucking better.
But yeah, I actually wanted it because like I was playing some exclusive games to only PS5. I can only play on PS5, and I was like, sometimes I just want to lay in my bed and just play the game, and that would have been perfect. Like the Trails of the Reverie, Final Fantasy 16 when I was playing it. Disgaea,
it's not like you're on like your phone PC. Or anything. You got a whole nice controller.
Yeah. What about the backbone controller that had like that's attached to your phone, and then you can play a
So
PS5?
Fun fact, one of the reasons that I would not recommend a backbone if you're semi-interested in the Portal is because the backbone, it just clips into your phone and you have to use the shitty Remote Play app that's on the App Store that has no Sony API. This PlayStation Portal was actually designed, it has Sony hardware in it. And as someone who Riku knows, I did not like I didn't like PlayStation Now streaming because it never really worked for me. And same for Remote Play. Remote Play through my phone was never great. It was always super laggy. In the 2 hours I played today, there's stutters every 2 minutes consistently, and it's probably just some sort of refresh rate or something that's going on with the system. But I did not have any input like frame rate drops or any blurriness happening. It feels like a Wii U gamepad. It's directly connected to the console. It feels like.
Yeah, Wii U. Yeah.
From what I heard from some of the reviews I saw, excluding IGN of course, who gave that thing an 8 for some reason.
What's your deal? What's your deal against it? I don't know.
I'm just from what the reviews I've seen, they were talking about how it ran well when it was connected, but it disconnected consistently over time. It would just disconnect and reconnect and disconnect and reconnect. And
I didn't know that.
And that's what I anticipated would happen for this, because at the end of the day, if you have any drop in your internet speed or any kind of, because this is going through Wi-Fi, right? It's going through your Wi-Fi network to connect to your PlayStation 5. If there's any sort of latency between that sort of connection, you will have a problem. Right now, if it connects directly to the PS5 through Bluetooth or something, you'll have a better connection. But from what I've seen, it goes through your Wi-Fi, connects to the PlayStation, and there's a chance of latency when it comes to playing to it. Now, according to the reviewers I saw, they said when it's connected, it's fine. Like when it's playing, it's good. But I still don't get like why didn't just have like a cloud option or something? You know, like if I think if they added cloud as an option on that device, there's a good use for it. Like I could have had one of those and brought it on my trip here with me, and I can play some of my PS5 games if I wanted to through the cloud on here. If I'm playing that from home, my PlayStation 5 at home has to be in sleep mode. It will come on when I turn on the thing, and then it has to upload a signal to the cloud and then down back to this device for me to play it through 5G or 4G or whatever internet connection I'm getting, wherever I happen to be. I don't think that's viable. I think the use case for that is very slim. And I get what you're saying, Shadow, about like, oh, well, you want to play some of your PlayStation games in bed. I get it. It's the whole reason why I love my Steam Deck. But I just feel like PlayStation could have just released a PS Vita 2 or something, and
for 8 times the price, sure.
Yeah, exactly. It was not going to be 200.
200? This thing is 200. It wouldn't be 8 times the price.
No, I'm talking about the Vita. The Vita 2 would have been way more.
Keep in mind, PlayStation launched their VR2 at a higher price point than the PS5, which you need to play it. If this was a dedicated handheld that was pushing PS5 level graphics, it would have at least been $700.
PlayStation. This is how PlayStation has convinced you guys that it should have been that price.
Oh my goodness.
Take, for example, the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck is like, what, 500 or something for the OLED? It just needs to have that level of graphical fidelity around that price point, and it'll be fine. 500. About the same price as the PlayStation 5.
Then you need a whole new SKU of games that you got to put with that just to work for the game. No, the PlayStation was not doing that. They sort of Vita, how it failed. They weren't going to do it again.
Are finished now. Nintendo ended that era.
Yeah, so I say I just wanted it just for, just so I could play my PlayStation games anywhere in my house for the most part.
Yeah.
But
the only thing I will say...
go ahead, Souls.
I was going to say, the only thing that is unfortunate, kinda, because like I said, I am only using it in my house. It doesn't support Bluetooth, but at the same time...
It starts to support Sony Link if you want to buy Sony's headset and Sony earbuds.
Yeah.
So wait a minute.
They're gonna make you buy that shit. That's it. You know.
So wait a minute. Blake,
it does have a headphone jack though.
Are we saying, Shadow?
So you played it, right, Blake? There's no latency while you were playing it. It ran smooth for the most part. And
I did not have any meaningful issues.
So what kind of internet do you have?
I have. Let me do an internet speed test. Like, are you asking how fast my internet is, or?
Yeah, basically. But I was more for your provider.
Canada have the same providers as us?
We definitely don't.
Okay, never mind then. Do you have a top tier? Do you have a top tier provider?
Do you guys have Vodafone in Canada?
Top tier,
like Verizon or something like that.
I don't know what that means, but my internet's pretty good if that's what you mean.
Okay, yeah.
Who's your provider, Blake? Like, what's your internet speed?
Yeah, what's your internet speed?
Okay, I'm doing a speed test right now. Just give me 2 seconds.
He's about to knock himself out.
Because I know I get 800 going up and 900 going down, so I don't think I have a problem.
Yeah, that's overkill.
Shadow and I have about the same internet speed. That's about my internet speed.
So Sony recommends for this device, I think, like 15 up, 15 down, as the bare minimum, which I mean is pretty good. I wouldn't go to McDonald's and try to connect to their Wi-Fi on this device, but so I have about 300 down and about 400 up.
Okay, and there's no latency.
You're probably on the same internet plan I am. Like,
I got fiber optics.
Internet. Pretty much the slowest internet you can buy around here is like 500 up, 500 down.
Okay, damn. That's pretty good.
The price
they got that good internet out there.
No, the price isn't good. We have shit internet prices, but like the speed is fine.
Hey, our prices is kind of going up too.
Wait, how much you said? Did you say $42 a month?
But I split it with the upstairs neighbors.
Okay, yeah. See, I pay.
I think the fiber op plan is $94 a month, but yeah, we split it half and half.
Yeah, that's expensive.
That's actually still way cheaper.
That is expensive, yo.
No, I'm paying 130 for the same speed.
Really?
Yeah.
My net speed is something. I think I'm paying like 20 something quid a month.
Yeah, no, we
you live in the dark ages.
That is true. That's true.
I've seen the way you people eat over there.
Oi! I came home from the market. I got some beans and the telly. It was 30 quid, darling. It was beautiful, innit?
Yeah. So
To answer Mako Tensei's question in the chat, like who doesn't have a TV in their bedroom, it's all convenience. Why would I have a TV in my bedroom? Why would I lug my PS5 from my office space that's already connected to my capture cards to my TV to play for an hour before bed to lug it back the next day? Especially the PS5 being as big and heavy as it is. It's a convenience thing. The main reason I bought this, because when it got announced, I didn't care. However, when it got announced, I was living with my parents, and they had terrible internet. I was like, I can't really have a use for this. However, I'm living on my own now with my partner, and she likes it when I'm not gaming specifically in my office and when I'm gaming like out like in like the main space so that we can like talk and stuff. So and she'll like play something on her Switch on the TV while like I'm doing that. So I can use this to continue playing my PlayStation games just in a handheld form or even in bed and make her, I guess, more happy, more at peace her in that way. But yeah, it's like I say, it's all a convenience thing, and everyone sees value in different things. But as a PlayStation remote player, it is much better than the PC app. It is much better than the smartphone app. It is much better than loading remote play on your Steam Deck. It is just the best way to do it.
Is it $200? Is it $200? Because the price for how much is it in Canadian?
$269.
Is it $269 worth better? Because to me, I think if this was at a more reasonable price point, maybe around the $100 mark or something, I would say, you know what, I could dip into something like this. Maybe this is $2 something. I could handle with that. Didn't you? Yeah, a Steam Deck. The Steam Deck is around $3 something.
You have a computer.
Yeah, but I have a computer and I have a Steam Deck, but my Steam Deck can do stuff without my PC. That thing does nothing. It's just a screen and joysticks.
The Steam Deck here is about $1,000, and the only thing extra I get out of it is convenience.
Exactly.
Shit, $1,000, yo.
Yeah, it costs $1,000 to get the.
You will pay a lot for convenience, Q.
Shit.
I mean, I was willing to pay that for the PlayStation Portal. So, I mean, now that I got the Steam Deck, I just paid for the OLED. I'm not getting this.
I have no interest.
Good on you, Shadow. Good on you. Good on you.
I have no interest in the Portal, but like I do see the convenience aspect. Like, eventually the TV is gonna have to take over raising my daughter for me. So like, I'd like to play somehow.
There you go.
Yep. That's another thing as well. Like, I know a lot of like fathers, like elderly. I shouldn't say elderly.
Yeah,
older people. No, that's not what I meant, Tarek. That's not what I meant. That's a slip of the tongue.
That's exactly
Freudians.
Like Steve Bowling from Good Vibes gave it. Like, he was saying that he loves this because he always loses the battle for the TV. He's got a bunch of kids and they always want to watch something on TV. And instead of being confined to his office to play games, he can sit on the couch, hang out with his kids, and play something on his PlayStation.
That's another plus, yeah.
And here's now as a parent, some of you guys may not know this, but as a top tier parent as I be, you know,
I see a parent, not a top tier one, but
I got both of my boys a Switch, and they play on their Switch, so we all sit on the sofa. My missus is playing Fire Emblem. One of my boys is playing Pokemon, whatever that EV thing is, and the other one is playing Ni no Kuni. Right? Someone uses the telly at some point. Maybe someone wants to play PlayStation or something, and I've got my Switch on my Steam Deck or my laptop. Everyone's happy. We can sit in the same area. I don't get the idea of like, if you're gonna go all the way to spend 200 and something extra, and your reason is you have kids, just buy a kid a Switch or something. They'll be happy with that. They'll play on there, and you can have your telly. You know?
Yeah, no, but the thing is though, the kids aren't watching things on their Switch. They're not watching cable TV on their Nintendo Switch. They're not watching Frozen 2 for the 8th time that day on their Switch.
That's more parenting then. Why you have your kid watching Frozen 3 or whatever it is?
I also can't play like the Dead Space remake on a Switch, so
that too, graphic.
Oh, that's another thing.
I also meant you also probably shouldn't play mature rated games out in the living room with your. You shouldn't play Mortal Kombat while your baby's sitting there.
That is the only reason that I would say that I will not play certain games is because they're not for my kids. So I will switch the game I'm playing depending on. But outside of that, I think you just buy them a handheld and they'll be happy, and then they play, you play, and you guys all talk about it. You know.
Right. Okay, so that's the PlayStation Portal.
We could talk about Mario RPG. Someone in chat mentioned it.
Oh god, I forgot about that game.
Came out yesterday. Been playing it first time, and it's pretty impeccable.
Can I say something about Mario RPG?
Good.
Oh no.
I replayed the game. I replayed the original a couple months ago, and I talked about it in a video, and I said, you know, the combat mechanics can't carry it to the end of the game. It starts to collapse under its own weight at a point. it needs to evolve a little more. Should have been about like the Legend of 5 stars instead of 7. Shorten the game to fit the combat mechanics. And I got shit on by like a good handful of people for saying that the combat mechanics weren't enough for the length of the game. Oh, what are you going to cut out? It's already pretty short or whatever. No, I don't want to cut anything out. I want to add more combat mechanics, but this wasn't good enough. And now the remake is adding more combat mechanics, and everybody's like, wow, this is great. This is great. And I can guarantee, like, the same people who are shitting on me are probably looking at the remake and be like, hey, this is a really good improvement.
Oh my God. I really wish someone would have thought about that on YouTube, like all these years prior.
Made the cardinal mistake of insulting people's childhood game.
Yeah. I know in some future video, I think I already have it like edited, but I had replayed Final Fantasy IV as well, and I have some complaints about that. So, about its older design. I know I'm gonna get shit on for that again.
Oh yeah,
like don't ruin my nostalgia.
That's just what happens. You talk about an old game, you say, "Hey, there's room to improve." Hey, fuck off, buddy. It don't work that way until the company actually goes and improves it. And, then you're right. But
that's like every time Riku tries to tell me Adventure 1 is better than Adventure 2, and I say, "Hey, buddy, fuck off."
Then he's running around in Frontiers doing adventure-related shit.
Oh my gosh!
So Icebreakers and chassis, it's already easy. New stuff makes it easier. It wasn't a problem of difficulty. It was a problem of not having enough mechanics to keep combat engaging to the end. It got boring before it wrapped up, which is really unfortunate. It's like the worst thing a game could get is boring.
Yeah, it's one thing for a game to be difficult and one thing for a game to be engaging. I think that's kind of the issue like 16 has as well.
Otherwise, I always loved Mario RPG. My replay of it has dropped my opinion of the original slightly, but it seems like the remake is going to fix all the issues I had with it.
Are you getting the remake at some point in the future, Turks?
I don't know, maybe for like $10 or something.
You might have to wait for the dinosaurs to come back for a Nintendo game to go to $10.
I know. Nintendo didn't even make it though, did they?
No,
it still got Mario on the cover. That means it's going to stay at that price for a couple of years.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Nah, Mario Rabbids doesn't count. Ubisoft made it.
Sparks of Hope, $20.
Yeah,
it's still got Mario on the cover.
Yeah, but that's a Ubisoft thing.
Ubisoft games always.
We don't know.
Assassin's Creed Mirage is already 50% off.
Yeah,
just came out a month ago.
I think it all depends on who the developer is, because it's not Ubisoft, it's not Square, and it's not Nintendo.
I did just replay like the original a few months ago, so I'm doing. I'm fine for a few years.
Me too. I played it 2 years ago.
Most of it still holds up. Most of it still holds up. Still a really fun game, really nice looking. I just, I
really like it. And isn't Paper Mario kind of absorbed this Mario RPG, right? That's kind of the natural progression of the series now.
Yeah.
Spiritual successor, yeah.
So,
because I also haven't played 1,000 Year Door, but I'm interested after Mario RPG.
So what's the better game for this year for Mario? Wonder or RPG?
Probably.
I think Wonder got a higher Metacritic.
Yeah, Wonder's like a 90 something.
Oh, really? Damn.
Wonder is very solid from what I've played so far.
Yeah, I think Wonder has really good, widespread appeal.
Hold on, let me confirm this. Mario Wonder Metacritic.
It's like a 93, and Mario RPG is like an 85. It didn't even break 90.
What the?
Yeah, because RPG is definitely
game
targeted
of the year for a reason.
It's definitely Mario RPG is targeted at like people who grew up with it and like fans of RPGs. But
what makes this game a 92? Like, what's going on?
It's Mario, baby.
It's just solid platforming.
It's the Nintendo tax, baby.
No,
some people are saying that it's
good design.
Some people I've seen say that it's
like really fun gimmicks, like really unique mechanics. It's constantly interesting.
Okay.
And more importantly, it distinguished itself from like the Wii/Wii U era, where a lot of people kind of like fell off the series. Some of my friends that are like really big Mario fans compare Wonder to like Mario World and 3, and they're like it has more of that feel to it than
that's what I got. So like all those other side scroll Mario games we got before Wonder, like from Wii to Wonder, felt like they were trying to remake Mario 1. And those are kind of, they're fun, but it's like, shit, I've seen all of this before. I can just walk through the game with my eyes closed. Wonder is not like that at all. Wonder, like,
it's also wacky and zany.
Yeah, every stage gives you like new mechanics and new ideas and shit to work with.
And from what I've seen, it looks like it got like a lot of creativity and just like even the way they run, the way they jump, the way they slide, a bunch of like the way you jump on enemies, the elephant thing, like everything about it just looks like it's full of life.
I just don't understand how games like this can get 90 with like no story, no character development or anything like that. We actually shit on games that don't have like a good story or good character development. But this game can just not have that.
Mario Wonder has a great story. Bowser fused with the Florian castle and became a castle, so now you got to go fucking take it down. Bowser became a fucking castle.
I think also keep in mind as well that like gaming as a whole, from its roots, it always started as it has to be fun.
Yeah,
and like we're slowly moving into that era. Well, I shouldn't even say slowly because Sony's like is the captain of the ship of cinematics over gameplay these days. Spider-Man, I think, is a great balance. It has really good cutscenes, but the gameplay is also super engaging. It's not something like Death. I don't know. I couldn't get far in Death Stranding. I just felt like the gameplay was really boring and the story wasn't really engaging me a whole lot. I've played all the Metal Gear games now, though, so now I'm a fan of Kojima, so maybe I should go back and give it another try. But at the time, having never played a Kojima game, that game bored me to death.
Death Stranding is its own weird, unique thing. The gameplay is literally walking. Like actually, it is a walking simulator, as in you simulate walking, and sometimes walking is tough.
And some people are like, this is the Amazon Prime game. If you want to be an Amazon delivery person, you're just delivering.
Thank you for your 2-day shipping.
Hey man, shout out to Amazon Prime. I love that 2-day delivery, that 1-day delivery.
Oh yeah,
I like Death Stranding quite a lot, but like as much as I like Death Stranding, it is not easy to make the gameplay sound interesting.
Did you play the regular version or the director's cut?
I played base version.
Okay. Yeah, I heard they added more combat related things in director's cut.
The combat was okay. That's probably good because the combat was probably the worst part of the game.
Lord,
like fighting, shooting, melee attacks, whatever. None of it really felt that good. The walking is what you're playing the game for, as far as gameplay goes.
Jesus.
Which I heard they added something. They added a gadget in director's cut. It's like this walking robot that you can sit on. So it's like, oh yeah, you don't have to walk anymore. Just sit on the robot, and the robot walks for you. I'm like, did you just remove the entire point of the game?
Yeah, that sounds like it removes like the actual game. It is literally a walking simulator.
Damn.
What was kind of cool about it though, like you get all your stupid walking mechanics. And like it seems boring at first, and eventually it clicks. Every time you look at a field and you see, oh shit, this area over here has like a bit of rocks or whatever, that field becomes an obstacle course. It's not just like an empty zone anymore. It's something to navigate.
Doesn't it add like motorcycles at one point or some shit?
You can get a motorcycle. It's not very good. Same with like any of the driving.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
You can build roads.
If it was, then what's the point of walking, right?
There's like an asynchronous system where like everybody playing the game can pitch in and like build roads and shit.
I heard about that. It sounds cool on paper.
So you're going to be there for day one on the sequel, Tarks?
So I'm a bit zoned out. Why are we talking about Kojima games?
I forgot it was good.
It's episode 100. But we are shooting the shit and Chad is eating it up. And for context, Mako Tensei, as well, you said she has a Switch.
If we're just talking about random stuff, I may have to leave.
Jesus. All right.
There's AEW pay-per-view going on. I'm just waiting till we're out of here to watch.
Oh, wait.
On a Saturday?
Damn.
Yep.
I forgot about
this
that.
man out
You
here.
didn't tell me about no AEW pay-per-view.
Figured you weren't interested. Plus, we just decided in my Discord to watch it a while ago.
So, any other major topics to talk about? Or we good?
Kuro no Kiseki 3 for Falcom comes out next year for Japan. They are hyped. Good for them.
Hold up. Hold up. Did you download the East 10 whatever 11 demo?
Oh no! I stayed away from that.
Why, Sway?
Because East. You stay away from that.
Oh,
Lord?
man, damn.
No.
Jesus Christ.
I just don't want to play it in Japanese. That's all.
So, what game are everybody looking forward to next year?
Oh, that's a good
Eiyuden Chronicles, my most anticipated game.
Trails from Daybreak, baby.
I'm getting really excited for Unicorn Overlord as well.
Ooh. I forgot about.
I don't care for Vanillaware.
Mine is Grand Blue Fantasy. I've been waiting too long.
Like 10 years for that game.
Yes.
Better comes out the day before Persona.
We got a super chat from this
from Scuzzoid Melee. If I was super chatting, are any of y'all gonna do an unboxing of Unicorn Overlord Collector's Edition? That would entail me buying the game, which is something I'm not doing.
I'm not like.
I'm getting the regular edition. It's gonna be digital, so no.
Yeah, I'm getting the digital version, so I'm not getting the collector's edition. I can't remember the last time I bought a collection editions for a game. So,
Buddy Pal, you're probably gonna have to do with if you guys know Gamer 2323, someone wanted him to do an unboxing of the collector's edition of Spider-Man, and they literally bought it for him, and then he recorded himself doing an unboxing.
Why not buy it for yourself then? What?
No, you could buy it for me.
No, he was saying that he's not gonna get it, but if you want to see him unbox it, then buy it for him. And then the guy was like, "Okay, I'm gonna buy it for you and send it to you." I'm like, "Well, he did. He gave him what he wanted."
So you're telling him to do the same for us?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying,
all right, Riku, buy me a collector's copy of Xenogears. I will unbox it for you on camera.
Hey, but
and I will insult Trails in the next sentence.
Jesus Christ.
Hey man, if you want to do that and send that to me, I'll more than happy will make a unboxing and I'll hype it up too. Don't worry.
Just so you know, Shadow's shipping address is actually mine. He lives near me.
Oh man,
just ask me for the address. It's all good.
I don't live in the dark ages, sir. I'm out here in modern times. Great internet, 800 going down, 900 going up.
My internet is faster than yours, Shadow. What are you talking about?
Oh man, I don't know about that sway.
I've got 900 up, 900 down. What are you talking about, Shadow?
Oh, I got the fastest internet here. Okay.
What do you got?
You guys have the most problems with your internet.
Who has
mine? I literally checked yesterday for like a job thing, and mine is about 1,000 over. 1,000 download and then like 900 upload.
Jeez, go up to 1,000.
It's that's just very close, Bow. I can upgrade mine after I get back home. It's all good.
Why would you?
Yeah, you're over here screaming about connectivity with PlayStation Portal. Look at you.
All right, I'm about to fall back from this conversation. My internet speed right now is going barely hitting 800 down. So I'm
Dark Ages.
Yeah, it's amazing how we're complaining about this. I remember back when in the
800
like
gigs,
something megabits.
Yeah, 800 megabits. And my upload speed is sorry right now. I don't know what's going on. Jesus.
Kilobytes.
300
kilobytes.
This thing is sorry. Anyway, back to the most anticipated game for next year. I would definitely say Final Fantasy VII, Part 2, Persona Reload. Yeah, see, they come out next to each other, even though I'm still gonna get both no matter what. But it's the one that I'm gonna dedicate my most time to.
One's at the beginning of the month, one's at the end, so there should be plenty of time to beat Persona before 7.
And you don't know my play time is greatly reduced these days. So actually, I guess that makes sense. It'd be good for me. But yeah, I'm probably gonna prioritize Rebirth Part 2 or Rebirth. I don't think it's calling it Part 2. What else? I think there's a lot of
quite a few games coming out next year, to be honest.
Yeah,
Rails through Daybreak, baby. Let's go.
Oh yeah, that yeah. Yeah,
summer. So it's like it's.
Are we really hyped for that though?
I mean,
yes, we are. Bow.
I'm looking as a Nintendo Wii.
See, you say this, Riku, but you weren't jumping on the bandwagon when the game was playable in English for years. I don't know. You sound like a fake fan.
What?
Icebreaker was in these Trails streets.
You mean playing it illegally? Oh yeah, sure. That's called.
You buy it on Steam and then you just put the patch in.
You don't have to buy it illegally. You can just legit buy it.
You're playing it a way that NIS doesn't.
Oh my god! Oh, okay. NIS overlords say we can't. Everybody, I'm sorry.
Damn straight.
I mean, honestly, if you buy it on PC, there's directly
I am thankful for NIS for continuing to translate and bring the games over. So I will respect their authority.
So I think Riku's done gobbling, Shadow.
I was like, did you tell NIS to stop? And I quote, making these mid-ass Disgaea games so they could focus on Trails.
Jesus.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't give a fuck about this guy until they go back to 2D. I'll buy him at the lowest price ever, but there's too much stuff taken out that literally made Disgaea.
Yeah, it sucks. I'm getting kind of used to it, but like any day of the week, go back to 2D. Yeah. And I'm gonna say in the video, but like the 3D for Disgaea doesn't benefit anybody but the developers at this point. Like
it's less work for them.
Like, who asked for that?
Yeah, it's the easiest thing to create, and nobody asked for them to do it in 2D. And I think for most games and series that make the jump to 3D, it's usually to introduce a new audience to it, or to show a different dimension of the game. It didn't do anything for it.
It's so weird too because most of Sky's games reuse the same generic sprite. So it was much more worth it making.
And the worst part about it is that it literally makes it a worse version on the Switch.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Here's a question: would you prefer no Disgaea game come out at all, or would you prefer 3D?
No Disgaea game.
Really?
Like they could just keep re-releasing the old ones like they've been doing. I'm good with that.
If it meant we would eventually get one, take all the time you need.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like fucking do what everybody else doing. Get make an exclusive and say, hey, we need y'all to support our budget.
and we got like new 2D sprites in the mobile game, even though it went down.
That's the crazy part. 2D sprites for characters that were never 2D.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, bro, just go back to that, please. But
don't you think by buying the 3D versions of the game, because you were saying before, like I'll buy it at the lowest price possible. You're still buying it at the end of the day. So if you don't buy it at all, maybe they then say, "Ooh,
no, if we don't buy it at all, we won't get any Disgaea. Period."
Well, and you said you prefer to have no Disgaea than to have 3D, so maybe you won't get any more 3D.
Yeah, but I guess that's the case because I don't want to see Disgaea like this. Like I have no choice but to see it like this.
When Bao told me that they took out weapon skills and all this other stuff, I'm like, what? That's like what made Disgaea.
Yeah, but like it's probably gonna come back in another sequel. So like once we get to Disgaea 10 or 9. We'll finally get a full force 3D Disgaea game that has all of the features of Disgaea 1 through 5. It's so stupid. It's like they reset development on this series. I don't know, but that's time for another. That's for another day. So I guess that's all. That's all the anticipated games that we care about next year.
Yeah,
I could go on. There's a few.
I don't know when it's coming out. I don't know when it's coming out, but I am at least looking forward to the Ryukishi 07 Silent Hill F. Not really RPG related, obviously, but like
I guess Wukong too.
What about that action RPG with a quite exceptional looking main character?
I was just about to say
Stellar Blade.
Yeah, that
Stellar Blade.
Yeah. I want that game to come out.
Yeah, where is Stellar Blade, bro? It's skipped the last like 3 state of plays.
She do look bootyful.
Yes, indeed she do be.
I mean, it's starting like Stellar Blade is starting to become like.
I am very abreast on the situation.
Lost Soul Aside too.
Exactly. Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah,
I forgot all about that game. I thought it came out.
You remember when Lost Soul Aside was revealed and it looked next gen?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're past that game now.
Yep. It's taking way too long to make.
Stellar Blade is a PS5 game, isn't it? Like,
it's a PS5. It's a PS5 exclusive.
Low key, I am looking forward to that Princess Peach game. That does look fun.
Really?
Are you?
Yeah,
that's good to me.
I need to see more of that.
Really?
To me, that was the only interesting Mario game for me. That was
the Paper Mario remake.
Oh, I forgot P3 Reload too.
Thousand Year Door remake. I'm on board for. I don't know when that's coming out either, though. I don't really keep up the way I should.
This man said Stella Cakes.
Well, I got the floor real quick though.
Stella Cakes.
Well, I got the floor real quick though. I got to bounce. I hear the baby crying. So,
all right, Tarks.
The wife needs some help.
Good having you on, man.
All right, thanks, guys.
Fellow Canadian, have a good night.
Good one, my guy.
See ya.
Right.
Catch you later.
Thanks, guys. Later, chat.
Later. Okay. But honestly, that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't think we got anything else to talk about.
Yep, I think.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna wrap this up, folks. Thanks, guys, for coming out to the 100th episode. Appreciate you guys sticking with us. I'm not gonna say that we got 100 more episodes in us, but I will say
we got this in the bag.
I will say that we will stick around until the bet between Q and Bao is done. So that's 2024. So anything after that, I don't foresee, to be honest, but we'll see.
Really, have you met your big shiggly
Oh
you
my
know,
God, no.
Latinas.
Oh God.
Because that's the only reason I can see you won't be around after, you know, like.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens and what's up. But 100 episodes. It's been a while, but we got here. Again, thank you guys for sticking out with me. I appreciate you guys, mostly for the panel. I'm just talking to you guys right now. But in the chat, thank you for also sticking with me and through my inconsistent schedules with uploads and just doing the podcast as well. I'm going to keep going, but something's definitely got to change for me. And I got to find more time.
Consistency is the hardest thing. I don't blame you.
Yeah, and I got to find some time to dedicate to these videos and podcasts. But yeah, that's it. Let's go to our outros here. Bao?
Play Xenogears. That's not. I'm done asking. It's now a demand.
No demand.
Q?
Thank your husband of dreams here. I happen to be in your region, and if you guys want to see something, I did upload a video. My missus did the video. She's a bit sad it hasn't broken 100 yet, so feel free to go over to my channel at LP Guardian and give it some love because make the waifu happy. And I do have other stuff coming, so thank you for everyone who showed up, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
All you have to do is tell Duo that Lexi uploaded it, and he'll be all over that with 100
Well,
views.
Duo, if you're there, if you hear this, Lexi uploaded a video on my YouTube channel. You can go watch it. It is a top 5 list for Fire Emblem characters for Engage. So go enjoy.
All right. Riku?
Riku's on one, the only one. Thank you for having me on episode 100, and thank you, Shadow, for hitting me up that one day on the Twitters, and now we are here. You know, I am
started from X. Now we're here.
Crazy. Yeah. Thank you, chat, for sticking with us this entire time, and however long we decide to go into the future.
All right, Blake.
All right, not to sound like a broken record like everybody else, but of course, thank you for including me in this circle. Shadow, thank you, chat, everybody, for all the generous super chats and the donations. Y'all mean the world to us. It is always a highlight of my week whenever it happens, getting to come on here with like-minded individuals, just shoot the shit, talk about the news, have a good time. One of my favorite parts of my life these days, and very happy to have been a part of these 100 episodes. And yeah, here's to 100 more. I have no doubt we will reach it, if only in 100 years.
Oh man, you're making me emotional right now. Oh my god.
Oh, bro, I hear it, bro. Yeah, that's all right, bro. That's all right.
Damage. Oh man, that was heartfelt. I felt that. I don't cry about a lot of things these days, but that almost got me. Just like that recent Rick and Morty episode. All right, Souls?
Hey,
so I gotta say, it was a blast doing this. Thank you for having me for the 100. You didn't forget about your boy. Nah, but this was great. Always a pleasure hanging out with y'all and talking about good ass games, good ass anime, and just ass. Nah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But yeah, peace out. Thank you, chat, for coming through.
All right, guys. That's it. We'll catch you guys on the next episode. Probably in December with holidays coming up and whatnot. There's no way I'm going to be able to get another episode out in the next week or week after. So definitely we'll be back in December. All right, guys. That's it.
If not, see y'all next year.
Damn. Nah, I'm not going to let it go there. I'm not going to let that go that far.
Have a New Year's episode just shooting the shit.
Exactly. All right, guys.
Hey, we haven't even taled about our game of the years yet. Yeah, absolutely. Deuces, people.